Ready?
Now we got scheduled.
All right, good morning. Welcome everyone to our Wednesday, September the 17th police jury meeting. Mr. Weatherford, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Stevens.
Here.
Mr. Ruffin. Mr. Bison.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mr. Garcia.
Here.
Mr. Sepulveda.
Here.
Mr. Remides.
Here.
Mr. Byrd. Mr. President, we have 7 jurors present. We have a quorum.
Mr. Weatherford, would you lead us in a prayer and Barry in the pledge, please?
Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for this day and this opportunity to meet together as the governing body of the parish of Sabine, that we might take those actions that are pleasing in thy sight and beneficial to the citizens of the parish of Sabine. We ask for thy guidance in all things we do, and that thy lend thy hand in the decisions that we make. We ask a special blessing on all government officials, federal, state, and local, that they might be guided by thy principles in all things. We ask these things most humbly in the name of Jesus Christ, the Son of the Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Do we have any, do we need to amend the agenda? Do we have any amendments?
I have an amendment to the agenda. It's to discuss adopting Pete Hill Road into the parish road system.
we're gonna put it.
Um,
Can we put it before 17 somewhere?
wherever you want it. Just tell me,
Put it 12.
you want to do it after planning commission?
Yeah.
12A. Any comments on this amendment, on this item?
Whose road would that be?
That's gonna be Bo. So I'll take it, I got a motion by Bo and a second by
Pete Hill. I'll second it.
by Bison. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That's gonna be, what's that,
702.
702. All right, any other amendments? All right, now I need a motion to adopt.
I'll make a
the
motion, we adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
motion by Bison, second by Bo. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, public comments. Do we have any public comments on any agenda item?
Is that the sign?
Yeah, the sign in. Do we have anyone on the sign in? If you sign in for any public comments on any, on any agenda item?
Okay. My name is Al Jenkins. I just want to thank y'all for what y'all are doing. Of course, I'm here to oppose in opposition of any sale of water out of the state of Louisiana to the state of Texas. Just want to make sure that the questionnaire that I sent to y'all, to make sure that y'all are fully aware that that information is apparent, that SRA intends to sell every drop of the water. They're going to make a pipe bigger than 600,000 acre feet that'll accommodate for more than 600,000 acre feet plus additional piping, which means they intend to sell all the water off of Toledo Bend. And what will that do to the people that need water down south, down there in the refineries? Because if they're taking all the water here, there'll be no water down there. And I'm sure it's hypothetical, true. But there was a contract on Governor Edwards' desk. He refused to sign. So y'all have to know this questionnaire came from that contract. That means SRA has intention of selling every drop to Texas, which will destroy any possibility of economic growth for this area, because you won't have any water to provide for it. Be none. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Warren Founds, and I'm the Executive Director of the Sabine River Authority. And I know y'all have an item on your agenda today, that you're going to talk about a resolution to be opposed to any water sale to an out-of-state entity from Sabine River Authority. I'm not here to discuss the pros and cons of a water sale, because right now that would be a hypothetical sale. We don't have a sale right now. But the Sabine River Authority will have a meeting next Thursday. We'll have a committee meeting that will address the issue, and then we'll have a board meeting that afternoon at 1 o'clock that may take the issue up again, depending upon what that committee recommends. Right now, I can't give you an answer if they're going to recommend moving forward with the sale or not. But by law, if the River Authority decides to do an out-of-state sale, y'all are one of the entities that have to vote on it. You would have a decision to make whether or not you would be for the sale or not. Again, I just wanted to let you know that's really what I came here for today, to let you know that this process is moving forward with the authority. Whether or not you vote for your resolution or against, probably it's not going to have much bearing. We still have to come back to you should the River Authority to move forward, and that's. By the way, the law is written. It doesn't say who we come to first. It doesn't say there's governor, there's political committees in Baton Rouge, and there's all the police juries that would have to be dealt with, or talked to. We've never got to the point that we had what the River Authority had approved to bring you a sale or to anybody else. We've discussed a lot of terms, and we're talking about a lot of things, but I didn't come here today for that. I came to let you know that they will have a meeting next Thursday, that the issue will be addressed. And welcome anybody that wants to come to it. You could hear more about the pros and cons of doing one problem. But I thank you.
So there's no proposal even been made yet?
Not,
Well,
there was, Bruce, there was a proposal that timed out. That's gone. We've had, y'all all know, we've had a new governor and a new board. This all came back up because the new board has not made a decision whether to move forward with it or not. I don't know that they will, but I just want to let you know that it's going to be addressed.
can I ask one more question?
Yes, sir.
If
Go ahead.
Sabine River on Louisiana says we're not doing it, what about on the Texas side?
Have no control over what Texas.
I mean, but they could,
They
right?
could,
Or
yes,
could or
that's
could
what
not.
they could. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Warren.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Morning, gentlemen. Y'all know who I am. I just wanted to come up here and tell y'all, I really appreciate y'all even considering this, like I said last month. Mr. Jenkins brought up a lot of good information that if this goes through, it could lower our property values and the value of everything in Sabine Parish, for that matter, could be suppressed. I'm here to tell you from my personal experience, it's already, just the talk of this is suppressing sales. People are telling me, I'm not buying property. I'm not going to buy a house. People can't sell their homes or properties because of all this is going on. It's already happening. I got to say this too. If you listen to Ted Dumas and Alan Seabaugh on the radio, we're all stupid idiots who don't know what's going on.
Yep.
These people have done so much investigating the water sales, the carbon capture, everything. We're not idiots, people. We live here. We own properties. This is your voice. I don't know who's for or against it. It doesn't matter. with all due respect to Mr. Warren Pounds, I'm asking y'all, put a resolution in place and let everybody know where Sabine Parish stands, because your constituents are here. In the circle of influence that I have, I don't know one person that could even consider selling water out of state. They've educated you. I hope all y'all have too, because the downsides to this, if we screw up our aquifers to these men, we need that from Louisiana, not Texas. And we don't. And Mr. Warren Pounds, I heard him say in the meeting himself when asked, can we, if we go this route, will the 168 water level still pertain? He said, no, we can't shut them off. Need me to say more? If they ever get this going, guys, yeah, we're gonna have, he did a demonstration, we got plenty of water, but I've lived here since I was 12 years old. I've seen the bad droughts, I've seen the lake get pulled down with the 168 in effect. And it takes us 2 to 3 years to recover from the droughts. If they do this, we may never recover. May take 7 or 8 years. Everybody in here on waterfront property or property in Sabine Parish is gonna feel the pain of it for what? Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Or any,
I was
Yes,
gonna try not to. I don't know if y'all ever been to a courthouse and dug for records. That's a whole bunch of fun. I spent the last couple of days looking at some records. Couple different counties, I see, county and parish. Mr. Jenkins brought up a point about point of origin, where the water starts, who owns a piece of water that makes a tributary. In Texas, if it comes out of the side of a hill and starts on somebody's property, he owns that water. Louisiana's a little different. Once you've got that body of water, the state, which should be the people, but the state owns that water. The people owns what's underground. The people own the water that's underground in the aquifer we're talking about. But if we don't have this water up here, that aquifer goes away. We've seen that, we've heard that. That's not, don't take rocket science. But the Texas law is that water comes out of the side of that hill, it makes a river. You stop that water that affects your neighbor, you go to court. But the judge says that water coming out of the hill belongs to you. You can do what you want to with it to a point. We don't want to get to that point where we're fighting with somebody down the road over this lake water because the judge is going to say point of origin, which is in Texas. And when we sign a contract to give up our rights, we're done. Because when it goes to the judge is going to say point of origin. We lost our rights. We lost every drop of water. That's interesting reading for anybody who wants to look.
thank you, sir. What was your name again?
Mike Hubble.
Any other public comments on any agenda items?
I'll say something.
Yes, sir.
My name's Barry Boudreaux, and the way I kind of feel about this is if Texas needs the water, they need to go to the Texas SRA and get their water. We need to keep our water. You know, who knows? We might get our government in Louisiana together one day, and we may have an economic growth. We may need the water. Another thing that kind of corny, but I'll just tell you, when my grandchildren come to visit me from Dallas, the chances of me getting T-boned and getting in a bad automobile wreck on the way to Toledo town to eat pancakes, probably nil to none. But you know what? I still buckle them up. They are too valuable to lose. And that's exactly how I feel about this lake. We've got to protect it. And I'm thankful you're going in the direction that you said that you're going. And I'm just saying, don't start something you can't stop. If we can get resolutions through a bunch of these parishes, this whole thing may just walk away. And I believe that's what everybody wants.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comments on any agenda items?
I'd like to speak.
Yes, sir.
Most of you know me. I'm Don Goche on Mid-Lake Marine Service.
What was that name? I'm sorry.
Don Goche, Mid-Lake Marine
Okay.
Service. This is what we have to think about. Just try to follow me. We get down to 160, remember, 168 is a generation, a power generation contract. Has nothing to do with water sales. Okay? So the problem with it is, there's even an emergency clause in that contract that says that if the electric company calls for the electricity, we still gotta produce it, whether we're at 168 or not. Most people don't know that. If you don't, educate yourself. Okay? So watch this. This is my issue. I own a business. Now, I'm gonna say, we're gonna affect every business from here to Nacogdoches, Jasper, Mansfield, Natchitoches, Leesville, because if we get down, and just follow me, if we get down to 167, an electric company calls for electricity, and they sign that contract with Aqueduct Partners, and it's not with Texas, it's Aqueduct Partners. It's an investment firm of 15 lawyers, and it's 15 lawyers for a reason, and don't ever forget that, because point of origin comes into place in court with point of origin. Okay, so watch this. So if we get down to 167 and they call for electricity, they call for water, and we get down to 162 and we can't release saltwater intrusion, we can't put water in the diversion canals for the plants, and we go and Sabine River Authority says, well, we can't produce the water. Well, you've signed the contract, and those 15 lawyers are going to take you to Texas court. And a judge is going to say, point of origin, Texas, it's your water, take over everything. And Sabine River Authority disappears, Louisiana. It disappears. And if we don't think it's going to affect every business for 100 miles around us, we're dreaming in Technicolor. This is the truth now. And by the way, we've got a crack in a dome down here and next to sulfur. And they're worried that chemical is going to get into our ground aquifer. And they've done put out a bulletin that says they're going to need 738,000 acre feet of water to take, the aquifer gets poisoned to take care of those 15 parishes. So do we sign a contract with Louisiana and keep our water? Or do we sign it with with Aqueduct Partners? And by the way, their legislature put in a bill that says Texas will never sell not one drop of water out of Texas to any state around it. So why should we help Texas? Because they'll never help us. See, this is about us, y'all. This ain't about Sabine River Authority. This ain't even about the police. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for even taking on this job. Understand that, okay? I sit in my business and I expect y'all to do the right thing because I expect it out of y'all. But this is something that needs to be thought about and thought about hard, because it's going to if we get down to 162 and everybody stops coming to the lake, nobody's buying a camp, Mike, nobody's buying your property. Where do we go? Common sense has to enter the picture somewhere. What if we sign the contract with Aqueduct Partners and 6 months down the road, the people of Louisiana need that water? Come on, y'all. We need to stand up. We need to stand up. This is real. This is as real as it gets. We use 620 million gallons out of our aquifer. That's the Chico aquifer a day. We're only replacing 315 million after we take 620 out. Guess why there's a crack in the dome? Because the salt dome needs equal and equal pressure on both sides to keep it from cracking, y'all. Come on now, this ain't rocket science. And they're going to need that water because they're going to contaminate the groundwater. not to mention the this carbon capture. Okay, because that's gonna poison the water too, by the way. You can't put that in the ground at 2,100 pounds per square inch and not expect it to get to the water source. Come on now. We need to stand up. We need to educate ourselves. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Last call.
I would like to speak.
See there, I got you on the last call, didn't I?
Get everyone Foster. I'm a real estate agent here in Sabine Parish, and I also drive a school bus for a degree.
God love you.
Oh, you.
I do too.
So you know. So, you know, when anything happens like this, you always say, follow the money. What, you know, what's going on? Well, you know, to add to what Don said, if Texas were to take over through this point of origin, right now there's a contract or a compact that, you know, it excuses that point of origin so that Louisiana owns 50-50 with Texas. If we break that, Texas then owns the water. Does that make all of our waterfront property on the Louisiana side Texas property? We lose all that revenue. The schools lose revenue. It's just downhill. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, man.
You brought up a good point there that our property on the Louisiana side, because it touches their water, becomes theirs. No, it don't. It's still our property. But we have to buy their water.
Yes, Texas.
We have to buy their water to water our yards. We have to buy their water to come to town. We have to buy their water. But it's our property.
But our taxes become Texas.
No,
No?
no, that's interesting reading. Yeah, I agree, it's strange, but no.
You might
they
need a
don't get our
Texas
tax.
fishing license.
Okay, well.
Okay. Any other comments? All right. Thank y'all for y'all's comments and y'all's interest in this item here. But moving on to item 8, it'd be Sabine Parish Industrial District, Mr. Mike.
Good morning. Thank y'all for letting me come talk a little bit about where we are with our comprehensive master plan. I'm Mike Mansell. I had the privilege of chairing the Economic Development Committee that you guys created a few years ago to try to get business and industry here. I think Mallory has done a good job of giving you a quick overview of what I'm going to talk about today. And then we didn't want to we got 45 slides here we didn't want to go through, so I got a copy for all of you. You know, you created the Economic Development Group to look at community strengths, the needs, demographics, economic potential, and strategic initiatives for the future. Y'all formed this, I guess, a few years ago to go do that. And we met with a lot of different groups to try to figure out what we need to do to get new business, new industry in here. We met with every alphabet you could say: Louisiana Economic Development, North Louisiana Partnership, Governor's Office on Rural Development, and I think some of their folks have sat in on a lot of our meetings and stuff. But one of the things they kept asking us is, where's your master plan, or where's the plan for how you handle growth? What's your workforce look like? What are your demographics? What things do you have to offer to attract those folks here? So anyway, we came to y'all last, I think December, January, and asked for some support in getting a plan started. We went out and recruited Mr. Ken Tipton with Tipton Associates. We've worked with him for the last few months on that. Ken's group has done this all over the state for 15, 20 years. They just finished one in Natchitoches. They work with Ruston. They work with West Baton Rouge Parish. So those have been he's been very helpful with that. We, as part of that process, needed a steering committee comprised of a group of parish residents to give us some guidance to review what we find, to streamline the project. They're local leaders from various sectors. They do monthly work sessions. We've had 7 to date. They're focused on community aspirations and challenges. Mr. Murphy and Mr. Bison sit in on that, and they provide a lot of input, a lot of feedback. Some of them more input than needed, but or no, it's all been good. But they recognize the importance of cultivating the community strengths for future generations, identify the needs for increasing employment opportunities. What's our infrastructure look like? Housing, workforce training, healthcare. These meetings were held, like I said, monthly. Then we've also went out and had smaller stakeholder group meetings. We've met with state and federal people, utilities, water districts, cities and towns in the parish, SRA, Louisiana DOTD, our oil and gas industries here, timber industries. Pretty much anybody that stands still and let us talk to them, civic organizations, banks, etc. These were to identify community strengths and current needs and what are our challenges for any future plans we have. So just want to real quick go over some of the demographics and some of the things we discovered. Our population in the parish is decreasing. It's gone from 22,000 back in 2020 to 21,700 now. The mix has also changed. The 0 to 4, our kids that are in the parish has decreased, while the older guys like me have increased. Our 65 plus population's gone up considerably. Our public school enrollment's dropped by 13% since 2020. Scarier number, kindergarten, first grade's dropped by 16%. So we have an outflow of people from the parish, which is one of the great reasons we need to try to create some growth in the parish, to get some new business and industry in here. Enrollment data, we've got a pretty diverse workforce with average weekly wages that vary. About 8,800 of the residents are employed. Unemployment rate's about 5%. But our poverty rate, median income statistics, and all this is in much more detail than I'm talking about today. But about half our population makes less than $50,000 a year, which in today's world and environment, that's not a lot. No surprise, key industries are timber, oil, gas, and tourism. Tourism accounts for about $11 million in district spending a year. So, you know, what these folks are talking about that affects the lake, and tourism is going to have an economic impact on the parish as well. Housing units are a mix of owner-occupied and rental property. I think Chris Tidwell and Mr. Chance are here. They helped me get a lot of data on the lake. There's about what they call the lake influence zone, which is around the lake and certain distance out from it. They use it for different assessment. There's about 9,000 parcels in there. 25% of those are homestead exemption. The rest of them are owner or rental or vacation homes or second homes. But when those people come in on the weekends, it puts a big strain on the water and electric systems and infrastructure out there. So we're trying to figure out how to get a handle on that and hopefully get some grant money to help with some of that. I'm going to meet with Bobby, wherever he is, in the morning. You come to me, or am I coming to you? Talking about planning and zoning and what some of that can do, but you know, blight in the neighborhood, abandoned homes, abandoned trailer houses, it's an issue. We need to try to get something started to do something with it. I know it's a touchy subject, but it sure affects property values in the parish, sure. Oil and gas, major contributor to the economy. We've had a little over 6,000 wells drilled since '77. We've got lots of pipeline projects that's gone through the parish. DT Midstream's put their new plan in out here. That's definitely helped with employment, tax revenues. The top 6 taxpayers in the parish are oil and gas or pipeline companies. Didn't know that. The rest, Boise, Weyerhaeuser, et cetera, out of the top 10. Out of all this, we've identified some things that we could address now, and we've started doing those. One of those was a few years ago, we had a leadership program that the Chamber of Commerce did, taking new, I guess, up and coming folks in the parish that were trying to start a business and match them with a mentor. That kind of went by the wayside as those folks aged out. A lot of them are business leaders today. We're going to try to resurrect that. Chambers agreed to do that, to have some kind of training for those folks. We put on some job fairs. We had a entrepreneurial workshop come down and talk to people about starting a business. We've met with the lake water districts. There's some issues out there, and y'all know about all of those, I think. Most of them have a plan to address those. But weekends, 4th of July, when folks were running out of water, didn't have enough water to flush the toilets, water park couldn't operate. We've tried to help them. They've got some grant money, and hopefully are working toward getting that resolved. But we're going to grow that area. We definitely are going to have better infrastructure on water and sewer than we have today. Let's see what else. We coordinated meetings with the education and industry leaders. When we were doing the stakeholder meetings, we had Boise and Weyerhaeuser and some others in, and they talked about the need for training for their operators for the plant, for heavy equipment operation, those kind of things. We had the meetings with BIPSI and the school system. Well, they had those programs or can get those programs. So they're trying to ramp up a heavy equipment training. Got some equipment donated. I think they got a piece of property so you can go out and play on a backhoe or a skidder or something. And they're also doing one on fiber. Fibers, y'all have had the fiber conversations a lot. Well, they're doing some training on how to get those technicians trained where they can operate those systems and upgrade, repair. Trying to develop a one-stop shop for new businesses. Shreveport did that. There's an example of it in the booklet where if you want to open a business in parish, you just click that button. Hopefully we'll let it reside with the police jury. It tells them what forms they need to fill out, who they need to go see. Right now it's kind of you call whoever, and hope you get to the right people. And then something we'll need a little help with from the police jury. The industrial district owns a piece of property out on McDonald Drive. We want to try to get that cleaned up and certified as a Louisiana Economic Development Site. Right now, if you're looking to relocate or locate a business or industry in Louisiana, you go to their site, it shows all their available pieces of property. Well, there's nothing in Sabine Parish. We have absolutely nothing. So we don't even make the first cut on something coming here. So working on that. And then we continue to research opportunities in forest products, fabrication, energy production, looking for opportunity zones for economic growth, and developed, kind of divided the parish into corridor segments. Basically 191 West, that's more recreation tourists. 171 Highway 6 has some potential for economic growth. We've got some potential plans for some of that in there as well. Y'all look that over. If you have any questions, I can come back and visit with you or visit with you individually. But can't say enough about the support we've got from y'all, from the governor's office and Speaker Johnston's office and our local representatives and senators. Anybody we've talked to has been very helpful, very willing to do whatever they can to assist. I think the timing's right for us. We're way overdue to get something here, and just appreciate y'all's support.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. Y'all have any questions on this item before we move on? So, Mr. Mike, you would say that our water infrastructure is our biggest one of our biggest concerns that we need to,
Yes, sir. My
because
opinion.
without that, your industries are not gonna have they're not gonna invest where they don't have
Exactly.
water infrastructure.
Now, we're not gonna get a meta center, I don't think, here that's gonna take huge amounts of water, but,
Right.
you know, even one of the mills, use pretty good bit of water, so we definitely would, like to see the water systems upgrade. We'd also like to see those letter grades come up,
Right.
you know, on those, and, but yeah, I think, having water available for potential industries in the parish is very important. Like I said, I got these books for you and we can pass
Okay.
those out. They've got some information about the 17 water districts we have in the parish, which is, and some of them do a very good job, some of them don't do quite as good a job. Talked with rural water. There's money available if any of them want to consolidate to make that process a lot simpler. We've got a mixture. Some of them are privately owned, some of them are corporations. Some of them you guys have control over, some of them the feds have control over. So it's just, you know, it's a sign of the times, I guess, when they were put in. You know. But
Okay.
water's huge for
Yes.
economic growth.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 9, Senator Alan Seabog's office. Is anyone here to? Moving on, Mr. Shamahorn.
Thank y'all for allowing me to come. And I know that excuse me, I know I don't make all the meetings because, you know, of all the other meetings I have to attend to. There's a lot going on in Baton Rouge in the last 18 months. If you're in my district, you got my mail out, hopefully. And it showed you about the last 18 months of what we have been involved in. We stayed more in Baton Rouge during that time than ever before. So that being said, I do have my assistant that is going to be at the meeting every time. So if you have any questions, relay to her and she will be sure to get to me. Does a very good job. Getting to the most important part, so water sale on Toledo Bend. I've made it public for several weeks, probably a month or more, that I'm gonna run a bill for the state. The state is gonna prohibit any Louisiana waters being sold outside the state of Louisiana. The reason being is that's gonna be our most natural resource. That's gonna be our most natural draw for industry to come in. Why do we want to support industry in another state to come and explode their economy with the jobs that it would create when we have the resource? If they're wanting to go and expand their businesses, they need to come to Louisiana and do it. I mean, it's time that we start taking care of ourselves in that regard. So that's going to be one of the bills. Another important issue that's going on is carbon capture. As you know, I've been fighting it for the last 2.5, 3 years, trying to get a handle, get it slowed down because of the eminent domain. Yeah, we voted for it in 2020, but it was a blindsided deal because they ran it alongside oil and gas. You know, we support oil and gas tremendously, but whenever they slipped it in, it kind of got, and we have clawed back some of the eminent domain. We pulled out the public good out of the bill, and it's not for the public good, it's private. So we're facing a lot of negative, forceful statements that's coming in from South Louisiana. They're stating that, you know, this is what we're offering. If you don't want to take this offer, we will take you to court using eminent domain. That's not what it's set up for. You're supposed to try to the best of your ability to reach an agreement. You know, you know, they're using the fourth language of eminent domain to get all these older people to roll over because they're threatening to take them to court, charge them court costs, charge them their attorney fees and everything else. And this last session, we were able to actually get a bill passed also that would, if they're wanting to use eminent domain before, you would have to go to Baton Rouge court. We have it now to where if they're wanting to use eminent domain, you have to do it in your parish. So if you're a Sabine resident and they're wanting to use eminent domain, you get to go before the local judge instead of Baton Rouge. Okay? Same environment in all those parishes. It's going to equal out the scales. Also, what we were able to get done was, and it got signed, that if you win in court, the other company has to pay your attorney fees, your court costs, and all that. So, but you know, we are moving. It's a slow process. The main concern is eminent domain. I mean, we have filed down in Baton Rouge last year. We had one committee meeting started at 9 o'clock in the morning. It ran till after 10 o'clock that night. We hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. You know, those that are on the receiving end of carbon capture is us. You know, we're the hub where all the carbon's coming. All the other representatives, they're on the benefit side because of the growth, the capturing and stuff like that. So that's who we're fighting. It's rural versus urban. Okay. So that's who we're fighting, but they have to remember one thing in their fight. Last year was 2 years from the election. This year's going to be a year from the election. So they're going to have to wake up because eventually eminent domain is going to be the main issue, in my opinion. So I think it'll be a little bit of different attitude in Baton Rouge this time because just use this for example, the water sales of Toledo Bend, the proposed water sales that, you know, is proposed. My phone and my text and my emails are abundant from South Louisiana people. Every one of these people that call me or get in touch with me and I call them back, I said, I'm going to help try to stop the water sales of Louisiana to outside the state. But I need your help to help us to convince your representatives and your senators to help us on stopping carbon capture. So, I mean, we're statewide, you know, these laws are statewide. So to get their attention down there, that's one of the cards I'm playing. Another bill that I'm in the process of putting together is, you know, the 45Q is for the capturing of carbon dioxide. The thing is, we have wood companies that are trying to get credit for capturing carbon. Well, they're carbon neutral. So I'm working with DEQ on the air side, trying to figure out how we measure what their carbon is that these industries are giving or putting out. And I'm going to put a limit on what you can collect on. The only amount that you can collect on is what you lose to the atmosphere. So if you're losing 1,000 tons, if you're creating 1,000 tons of carbon, that's all the credit you're going to be able to receive. We have these companies that are wanting to come in here that are carbon neutral, and the only reason they're wanting to do the carbon capture is for the $85 in the capture fee. It's wrong. It's our tax money. We should not be supplementing them to do something that we need drastically to grow our pine trees or grass and to help create oxygen. You know, if the rest of the world needs to go negative let them dispose of it in their country, not ours.
That's right.
Let me ask you this,
Not
Mr.
ours.
Rodney. Can we stop that in Sabine Parish? Are they gonna come and override us?
I went to Vernon Parish Monday.
Monday, yeah.
They, did away with their resolution in opposing it, which was a drastic mistake, in my opinion. Last year, we also got into a bill to where public input had so much power on issuing a permit for disposal. When they removed that, that was one part of it. And we still have the public comment. But, you're the governing body, so that's what's going to be more relevant on issuing a permit than the public's outlaw. Look, we're fighting it. And, the thing is, my main concern is the water aquifer. It's not the safety. It's the water aquifer. Because it's like a helium balloon. You put it in here in this flat roof and it blow around, in this room as the air circulates. But you put it in a arch roof, it's gonna go to the top. And that's what this carbon is going to do. It's going to be always bumping the top, looking for a way out. And once it does, the next thing it's going to hit is the water aquifer. And that's why Toledo Bend is going to be so important to the rest of the world. You heard somebody say the around the salt dome is so important because they're going to need our water. Look, if it gets into ours, it's going to be a terrible, terrible ordeal. And that's, we have more hazardous stuff running up and down this railroad than what the carbon is, in my opinion. I've been through all these meetings, education meetings, and you want to call them backroom meetings and stuff like that. And they have explained all the safety issues that'll be applied, but they can't guarantee it not getting in our water. And that is, how many wells have been punched?
Over 6,000.
Over 6,000. Okay, that's an outlet right there. They've been punched since the 40s or before, and that's one of the main concerns. They claim, oh, we're going to use this magnetic thing and use a drone and fly over all the area, and if it picks up a metal, it's going to have to go and open it and close it for the carbon. Look, that's fine and dandy, but the reason they have come to us is because of our timber industry that has the large tracts of land. I don't have a problem with them putting it under. It's your land, okay? The ones that I have a problem with are the neighbors not wanting it under them. That's the problem I have. I crossed that line there crosses against those that are fighting carbon tooth and toenail. But that's our property rights. I do not want, my son, he's got 70 acres that's on the line. And they have hounded him wanting to lease it. Oh man, you're gonna make $4,000 an acre over 10 years. He said, I don't want it under me. One day technology is gonna come along and they're gonna be able to tap the Austin Chalk. Just like they did the Haynesville Shale. The Haynesville Shale dried up. Technology made it to where they could tap it, and now it's one of the largest ones in the U.S. The Austin Chalk is the same way. It's under high heat, high pressure, and it's deep. But it's there. And I'm trying to work with a group of, you might want to call them wildcat drillers, on trying to entice them to start trying to tap the Austin Chalk. And the reason I'm trying to do that is to slow the process of the carbon capture. So if we can do that, and somebody, in one of the meetings, I said, well, what kind of incentive would it take? I said, we just decreased your severance tax from 12.5 to 6. Well, that's good, but this technology has not been done. There was one guy east of Opelousas he claimed, another guy claimed that he had the technology that he thought that would be able to tap the Austin Chalk. He spent $13 million. It didn't happen. And a couple of weeks ago, he committed suicide. He lost it. He had all of his eggs in one basket. But he was close, you know. But the technology, the benefit once they tap it is going to be so strong. It's going to be mind blowing. So
They're gonna
anyway,
need water to drink,
sir,
but they're gonna need water to drink.
everybody needs water. I don't care what comes to Louisiana. You know, I went to a conference a couple of weeks ago in Dallas. I just put hotel, and I've got glaucoma, so I can't see real good, especially with the small print. I just put the name on there. And I had went the year before to the same conference. It brought me down through the old part of Dallas, run down. I mean, ghetto, run down. Ours looks good compared to that. And I looked down and made sure my gun was still there.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, I got there, and then all of a sudden, in all this bad part of town that was so ran down, they had these 3-story condos being built. I mean, hundreds of them. They want our water so they can keep expanding. If they need to expand, let them come to Louisiana. Let us get some industry in here and let these subdivisions come in here and use our water and not us provide them their water.
That's right.
So, I know at times we don't get along. That's part of politics, part of politics. But I am here to help and represent everybody to the best of my ability. And you have to remember that we go off of our phone calls, our surveys and stuff like that on what my election constituents want. And if you for something, you let us know. If you're against something, you let us know. Because that's the only way we have the input to be able to make our decisions. After the fact, it's kind of hard, you know, after the fact. But as the issues go, we try to stay on it. On the conservative side, there's 105 state representatives down there, and I'm in the top 3 on the conservative side. So I'm very proud of that because that's what I ran for on the conservative. So I want to remind the jury that end of October is capital outlay, all that has to be submitted. And as far as the water system, been burned up by pros and cons and this and that on Pendleton water. I think it's moving in the right direction. And I do believe that I finally got some of the points across. Their meeting today with Senator Reese. Pendleton is about trying to be consolidated with the town of Manny. Manny is needing their draw point from Toledo Bend because it's a deep water draw, where Manny's is shallow, and in the past it was costing like $20,000 a month to treat the water from the shallow water draw. So hopefully the water sector program will be able to help and manage and let them consolidate and become one instead of the 17, in which there's several already in Sabine Parish that have merged. Whenever you do a merge to combine them, you move to the top of the money list. So that's the goal. The bigger a system is, the less expensive it is on the homeowners or on whoever's drawing the water. And that's one of the advantages. You need, you know, your technicians, you don't need all of them, you know. So it's not like your electric companies. Whenever we got rid of Valley, you know, we lost our local voice when we got rid of Valley and got Swepco. But you know, the guys that run around in the trucks, instead of you saying at the store, hey, you know, could you stop by here and check that lug or check something, you know, my lights flicker every once in a while. They can't do that anymore. You have to call the main office that's somewhere else, and then they'll do a work order 2 or 3 days. You know, they may get by and check that load. But, it wouldn't be like that on the water system, cause it's still local. Any questions?
I'm good, y'all. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I would say thank you for finally taking a stand and making it public.
I
Oh,
appreciate that.
I did that last month. I said
Well,
that. Yeah,
This is the first time I got to see you and say,
okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, moving on to item 11. Anyone here from Representative Bagley's office? Moving on to Planning Commission. You got anything in Planning Commission?
We had 2 small partition surveys that we approved. One was just a 4-acre tract broke down into 3 lots. The other is a larger tract that he pulled 2 acres off of, sold privately. Nothing he did very active.
You good? 12A. What was that road, Pete Hill? Pete Hill Road.
I'm gonna ask, this is one of the road in my area. We've dealt with it before and I hear y'all turned it down Monday in the road and shop, but, I have the landowner here, Mr. Chris Goins, wants to address y'all on the issue. Come on up, Chris.
Chris Goins, I own some property off the Pete Hill Road. I've owned it since 2005. No issues were found for access when I purchased it.
My daddy actually had this piece of property at one time too, so.
I went back through the records for 30 years. And so April of 1995 to August of 05 when I bought it, it had transferred names 5 times, transferred ownership. No issues with access. Pete Hill Road was considered public. Power line runs down. The mail used to carry their mail route through there till the old gentleman, the one and only, that lived out there passed away. Mail quit carrying. The bridge collapsed crossing the creek. Parish came and put a 10-foot diameter, 30-foot long corrugated culvert in. Lasted maybe 5 years. It got blown out. Culvert all still there in the creek, the old bridge piling standing. I guess it just got more or less abandoned. Nobody used it for access to homes. Nobody said anything. I have witnessed and under oath will tell you, I've witnessed with my own eyes, parish equipment and parish employees working the road.
Me too.
One of them is no longer with us. He passed away a couple of years ago, but the other one's still living, and I'm sure he will attest to this. The problem is I get ready to sell the property recently. Buyer comes interested. Decides he wants it. We sign a contract. Attorney does title exam. No legal access. I said, do what? What happened? Never has been an issue. So I guess my question is, when was it taken off of the system? Was there a vote on it? Was the landowners that used it for service to get their property, were they notified? I wasn't. So I feel like there should be some answers. I'm sure y'all can answer those questions. For what it's worth, 17 of the last 20 years, my property taxes have been around $3,000 a year. I'm not asking for a dime to be spent on this road. It's recreational property. I don't live there. But it's important to me, just as it would be to everybody here, if it was your property. You see what I'm saying? Nobody said nothing to me as landowner, this needs to be taken on, you know, we're gonna do nothing. It just, I guess, happened. This road is about a half a mile long from Marion Road to my property. We're not talking about 10 miles, 20 miles, we're talking about a half a mile of road. Grade it once a year if it's dry, and they're grading Marion Road and passing it, like pass up and down, and everybody's asking. I'm not asking for any improvement on the road, no money to spend on it at all. Put it back as it was, as public access, when I purchased the land, and when all the ancestors entitled to the property had. That's all I'm asking.
Chris is actually, since he tried to sell it, now the timber company they're saying it's their road now. It's their property. So they're trying to get Chris to pay $22,000 for a sheet of paper that says that he's got access to this land.
To use the road.
To use the road
I've
that-
been using for 10 years.
That everybody's using.
That week, that everybody has.
Everybody's using. I mean, we used to go all the way through that road before the bridge blowed out.
I bought the property from Paul. If there was a right-of-way issue, it would have been mentioned. Mr. Garrett would have told me.
Yes.
His daddy owned it prior to that. Mr. John E. Corley owned it prior to that. Past principal of Florine High School.
I guess what I'm trying to do here, y'all. This is one of my voters. This is my area. We've set this criteria deal up on these roads, and I would still like to know how this road got took off the map. You know how it got took off. But it's my area with my taxpayers' tax dollars, and y'all all can tell me whether I can have it as a road or not. It's dadgum wrong. I have voted with Eric. How many times, Eric? The only one at this table that would vote with Eric trying to put somebody's road on, it's their money. Let them use it how they want to use it. If I want to take away to give a half a mile to grade one time a year, he's asking for nothing. He's asking for right-of-way access. That's always been a right-of-way access. And I don't know. Y'all, them people right out there is that's who we're here for. We got to be able to help them.
I understand what you're saying, Bo, but on the other side of that, this solid waste, not solid waste, but road and shop committee, we have a set of rules and regulations that we go by. And the day of that meeting, we were Eric and Mr. Ramirez, and who else was on that bird? We all sat here and we discussed this road. We looked at the maps of this road.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere in that criteria did we feel that it met it. So that's all we have. That's the tool we have to go by. That's nothing I hate more than tell a constituent that I can't help them. But on the side of that, we got the criteria that we have to go by. Now, as far as this, I don't even know where this road is. But did you do any research to see far back on Mr. Hughes on this road, any records or anything back to what year you're talking?
Well, I went back only 30 years as far as ownership, to 1995, but I drove through there myself way before that. The time I witnessed the parish working, it was probably mid to late 90s, if I had to guess.
They've worked it since then, Chris.
Okay, well, I
know that.
didn't state.
Well, see, that's what we go back. We want to go back and find the records where this road was a public road at one time, and that if there's a log that said that this road, now, again, it could have been whenever back in 2000 and what year was that? 12, probably 13, when the auditors come in.
That was 15.
15. Well, in 2015, the legislative auditors came in and said we had to clean the list up. There was multiple roads that got taken off that list. And it could have been one of those roads.
It was a
If-
notice given to a landowner.
But if it don't meet a criteria that said that it for public, what's the right definition on that? Serve the public interest within those roads, they pretty much told us we had to take them
What's
off.
considered the public? A taxpayer? 100 taxpayers? What, I mean, who's to say if somebody owns private property on that road and they're using it for access, who should say whether it gets taken away? That property value just went to nothing. Now they've got to file a lawsuit and fight it in court. That's not right, guys.
Mr. Rodney,
Nobody here would want that done.
That's the tool that they gave us to work with. I want you to understand.
Well, change that tool, do something. That's not right.
how does that happen, Mr. Rodney? State come in here and tell us we gotta clean it up and get rid of. How's that work?
I don't know, and I'm chairman of the legislative audit. I really don't know how, if it's being abandoned, I guess that's what they were talking about, is to remove it off the system. But there again, you have, you said yourself, okay, well, that, if it was a parish road at one time, but yet it doesn't meet the criteria now, it was a parish road, it should have been maintained there while it was in the system.
Okay, Mr. Rodney, I drive a school bus and I drive every day on roads that don't meet our criteria that we take care of.
And that's what I'm saying, but as far as removing it off the system, it was on y'all's books. And from what I can take away from what I know is, to remove it off of a system, you had to have a private party ask for it to be removed. That's the easiest way for it to be done. The other way is for you to get it off your books, you have to send out a certified letter or some kind of a notice to the property owners on that road to get it removed. And that's my knowledge, but, I've never heard of the auditor, and Mr. Bill, you're a CPA, so, and.
What was happening, we had a lot of
Sorry?
places, what was happening, there was a lot of driveways being included.
Okay. And that's understandable, because you're not supposed to spend any, and that's like us as the state. Even though your driveway meets the state right of way, it's up to you to maintain your culvert and your driveway. And that's the same as probably what the legislative auditor looked at for that. But as far as roads, you're the governing authority, but, it needs to be a certified letter to all the property owners to remove it. I mean, I know Vernon Parish went through it here a couple of years ago. They had a property owner in a loop that wanted to close the loop. Well, it was a parish road. He put a gate up, and eventually he had to remove the gate because it had been maintained, in the parish road system. But
How many landowners are on this road?
And on this, and on this also, and I want you to understand, we're not the bad guys here. We got something we go by.
Yes, sir. I get that.
Also on that, there was a gate on that road that we saw on the maps. Am I correct? And there was also a culvert that had been out that the road, I guess, at some time used to go through, but since the culvert got blowed out, it never was repaired.
Right.
So,
That's fine.
to me, if that road tied road A to road B, well, then it could be a public use road. I see
It's gonna cost a
the
lot to
purpose
build a
of it.
bridge across.
But so in our questions were, well, why wasn't this culvert replaced and why is there a gate on this road?
Nobody used it.
So.
I mean, nobody lived out there.
Right.
It was not a daily use. Mail, the old gentleman passed away that got mail delivery every day to use that road. It just kind of went by the wayside. It's in a very rural area. There's 2 houses out there and there's probably not another house within 2 miles in any direction. And those 2 houses are not even they're not lived in daily. It's just the way things shook out. The gate that got put up hasn't been there. That is a lease gate. That road has never, I don't know when the leasing came in this country, 30 years ago. And all the gates started going up on the company road. That road had never had a gate on it. I can attest to that. For 30 years.
Yeah, I think too.
It got put up
Mr.
when
Hughes?
all this changed,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
changed.
Mr. Hughes, go ahead.
So, hey, Chris,
Yes,
so, I don't know, Bill, I asked you the other day, and I'm sure, I guess you didn't find anything, or you said something now, but did you ever find anything from, 3, 4 years ago when we talked about this?
No.
Okay. So, look, I've been here 7 years, you know, I don't know what happened 20, 30 years ago. And this is the second time that we've tried to, you know, bring this up and get this resolved. What I remember from our previous conversation is that, and the people I've talked with, and I know who you talk about, I talked to Joel, you know, I know, just through conversation of what's happened in the past. So from what I've gathered is that this is a road, like we all know, there's been many others, that the parish years ago, jurors controlled what happened in every ward. We all know, just the fact is that politics prevailed, and a lot of times jurors, just because it felt like the right thing to do, they maintain the road. They maintain the road, they maintain driveways, you know, a lot of things happened in the past. We've since, we do better because we know better. Things change. From what I understand is that we never found anything that this was ever a public road on our road law. It was just a road that the parish maintained every great once in a while. Kind of like you said, every once a year they may run down there and drain that road. I don't know who, I heard there was a bridge on there. I think Carl and I crossed the link here. Carl and I talked back when he was game warden. You can say what, early 80s, the bridge collapsed, and you know, and that's it. I didn't know there was a culvert put in place.
Hang on, Bobby. You're right.
But I don't know who put the culvert there.
The parish did.
Well,
The parish come in and put it,
so,
and then it blowed out several years later.
but I think there's some conversation going on here to imply that it was at one time a parish road.
Yes.
We never found anything that it was a parish road. Now, not to dispute that the parish may not have maintained that road or done some work to that road, but we've done work, the parish has done work to many roads, and I'm not trying to hurt you or anything. If there's a way to help you, everybody in this room would do it right now. But we also have to follow, we have to follow the law. We have to do what's right, and not get ourselves in trouble. So
was it done right the way it was taken away?
well, I don't think it was taken away. I think the jury at some point realized that it's not a public road. It was never a public road.
There's
And-
a list of ancestors entitled, I've got,
And
that no access issues were ever a problem buying or selling the property.
well,
It was, when these title exams are done, if there is a right of way issue, it's brought up.
Too many title searches.
It is now.
And
I
now
found
there's
that out
access
the hard
issue. That's
way.
what I'm saying.
I assumed I had right of way just like I did when I purchased it. And everybody before me.
but I think going through what we looked at on the map today is it's timber company property.
Up to mine.
They own that piece of land. And I don't know, I wasn't here, I was a part of that 20 years ago, but I assume the reason the parish stopped grading it is because they realized that, you know, hey, it's not what we're supposed to do.
The bridge fell in. Nobody.
Whatever the
did
reason is, the parish
any longer
stopped
on the other
maintaining
side.
a traveling path that was never dedicated to the parish road that we found.
Well,
Mr. Barry, go ahead. You got a
Yeah, and
comment?
I just got a question, I guess, and it'll have to go to Don, I'm sure, but if there's never been a legal right-of-way established, I don't think this body has the authority to override a property owner's and just say, hey, now we're establishing this as a right-of-way, because the property owner's gonna have some legal recourse against us. So there's some issue there that's gotta be resolved legally.
how does it go through all these title searches, Barry? And now it don't, now it says it's no access. There's been access to it for,
Well, then there
How
should
many
be a
years?
plot with a legal right-of-way drawn on it somewhere.
that's what.
Where is it?
Who done away with this road? Who took it off the map? We need to find this. Bill?
Would be at this, Clerk Court would have a plot on it if it was right away.
If it's there, if it's established a legal right of way, he has no problem.
That's right.
That's all he wants
What's on
is
my-
access. He's not asking for us to build a road. He wants access to his property. Whatever it takes to establish that is some legal concerns that above my pay grade.
I'd say you'd have to establish just the opposite.
Say again?
It was accepted as public access
When?
all the times it has bought and sold over the past year.
Then there's a document somewhere saying that this is a right of way.
The road, since it went through the property on both sides of the road, why would they show access from public road, all the way through it? Where are you gonna show access? It was considered public.
It went all the way through the
It went
belt.
all
I
the
mean,
way
it
through.
went all the way
On
through.
both sides of the creek. The parish furnished me road closed signs to put at the creek crossing when I bought the property. So somebody wouldn't come down there tonight following GPS and nosedive off the creek. No barricade, no berms, no nothing were there. I took the road closed signs and put them up.
Then there's gotta be a document establishing that right of way. Gotta be.
Is that with every road,
Yeah,
every public
you
road,
take a
every?
prop, yeah, there's gonna be a property. You pull up a plot, it's gonna show right of way. On our subdivision, it's a road. It comes in, but it
This
shows the
road right
road.
here, does it show right away to this building? It's joined the public
Now you're
road.
talking,
That's
now you just,
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
apples to apples to me. It's not that complicated, guys.
it's
When I
not that
bought it,
complicated. What
it
I'm
was
saying,
all-
I don't know that we have the legal ability to give you the relief you're looking for. Once we go to our DA and he says, okay, y'all can accept this as a right of way, I'm fine with it.
Well, let's go to the
But
DA
I'm
with it.
telling you, I don't know that we have that authority. And
We're gonna
until
do
we get a
some
decision-
research. We'll
Once we
go
get a
back and do
decision,
some research on this road. May get Ally to go back as far as we can, see if we got any information about this road. We'll get with Don. In the meanwhile, if you don't mind, could you gather any information that you can about the road that you can find, whether it's at the clerk's office or wherever? And like I said, you know, I hate telling a man I can't help him. I'm here to help you, but
That's all
we
I'm
got to
asking.
do what we got to do is for us,
Yes, sir, I
legally,
do. I
you
do.
know,
I
so.
do. I'm not asking for any appropriation toward any funding, any transfer of anything.
Right. And so, and I agree with Barry, cause if the timber company thinks that's their road and the parish comes in and says, no, that's a public road, well, you can't take their road away from them. If it was theirs, is my point. So there's a lot of unanswered questions here, you know.
I don't know what happened.
If it's 20 years ago, if it was 14 years ago, I don't know, because I wasn't here. I don't know. So, Mr. Ruff would have been the only one can answer that. So, because he's been here the longest. So, but look, anything we could do to help you with this deal, I mean, that's what we're here for. But, you know, other than that,
Well, I'd like to make a motion
with
to
these
table this
companies-
until we gather some more information with the DA and then bring this
I'll-
back
I'll-
up, bring that back up to.
I'll second that motion.
uh, motion by Barry, a second by
Chris.
Bo.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. All in favor? All opposed? All right, motion carries 7-0-2.
While we're on this topic, I think we need to sit down and come up with a different criteria to y'all. I got 3 noddings over there, so
Well-
I'm just telling y'all.
We'll get with the legislative auditors, and when they come in and set this criteria, I hope you attend that meeting.
I'll be here.
Okay.
I'll be here.
Item 13 is Fire Chief Douglas Downs, Ward 1 and 2, Fire District 1, update on parish fire insurance ratings.
Well, I didn't know I was gonna get to talk today. I thought I was just gonna tip my hat and y'all were gonna show them all the news.
Now, we want you to.
No, you got to spread the news,
Man.
man.
Douglas Downs, Chief Wards, Fire District, South Sabine Fire District, Wards 1 and 2. My police your representatives, Mr. Barry Stevens, Mr. Bo Stewart. But to all the jury, I want to thank you for your support. Thank you for what you do. We were the last one in this wave to get our ratings back. We got our rating back September the 1st, and we were proud to announce to the citizens of South Sabine that we acquired a Class 3 rating.
Great deal, man.
That's the best rating?
That's the best.
That's the best in the parish so far, ain't it?
That's it.
I thought we beat that volleyball team.
Nah,
y'all
was
was a half point, man.
6 and you moved it to a
No,
class 3.
Still,
We were at Class 6.
That's
I know that North Central, we all come from Class 6s to our positions now, but I'm not gonna be too long, I promise y'all that. We'll get out of here. I just wanted to thank y'all. I wanted to thank all the citizens in the parish for your support, for what y'all do. We couldn't have done it without y'all, and thank y'all.
and our homeowner's insurance gonna drop, huh?
It goes into effect October 1st. So,
I know,
I'm
look
not
at
an
that.
insurance agent. I can't tell you nothing about that. I'm a fire chief. If it's on fire, call me. As far as insurance, call me.
Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you. And on that note, the residents from that area, get with your insurance agents, because they're not going to voluntarily tell you that. So you have to tell them that. I've done been there. All right, moving on to item 14, accept the minutes of the previous regular meeting held August 20, 2025. Need a motion. Got a motion by Bison, second by Bruce. All in favor? All opposed? All right, item 15 is consider appointing Donnie Woolley to fill the vacancy on the Sabine Parish Library Board due to the death of Miss Bonnie Fox Miles. Sabine Parish Police Jury has received a correspondence from the Sabine Parish Library Board recommending that Mr. Donnie Woolley be appointed as a board member to fill the vacancy due to the death of Miss Fox.
Does Donnie want it? He ain't here, is he?
Who's on my library
Miss Jody
board?
is here, or she was. She's still here.
Yes, ma'am.
It's our librarian.
He has agreed? I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Bo, second by, who's the second? By Bruce. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Okay. I need to read this aloud. Convene on the Board of Ad Tax Review. The police jury is in the capacity as a board of ad valorem tax review. The jurors are also presented a copy of the September 3rd, 2025 letter from the Sabine Parish Tax Assessor Chris Tidwell, certifying that he has completed the assessment listings of Sabine Parish for 2025 tax roll at a total taxable value of $337,234,975. Any protest should be addressed today, and no additional meetings of the Board of Ad valorem Tax will be necessary. And the board can then adjourn. The parish has the option to either uphold or not uphold the tax assessor and the assessments. If the assessments are upheld, the matter can be appealed to the Louisiana Tax Commission by the taxpayer. There are 4 levels of appeal. The first is between the taxpayer and the tax assessor, then the Board of Ad valorem Review, and then the Louisiana State Tax Commission, and finally the courts. Tax Assessor Tidwell and Mr. Carl Chance attended the meeting. Mr. Chance noted that no protest form 3101 were received from the Board of Tax Review process. So I need a resolution. I need a motion, or do we have any comments?
No appeals.
No appeal. Is there any questions or
Do we need
comments?
to act on it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I need a resolution and a
I've got a
second.
resolution.
Oh, you got it?
Okay. Whereas Sabine Parish Police Jury acting as Board of Ad valorem Tax Review commenced the public hearings today, and whereas the police jury hereby certifies that no protest of assessment have been received, therefore be it resolved that the police jury accepts and approves the 2025 property tax roll value of $373,234,975 as presented by the Sabine Parish Tax Assessor, Chris Tidwell. And be it further resolved that the Sabine Parish Police Jury hereby certifies that no additional meetings of the Board of Ad Valorem Tax Review will be necessary, and the board is adjourned.
I make a motion we adopt that resolution.
I'll second. Motion by Bison, second by Eric. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Tidwell. Moving on to item 17, consider a resolution opposing the sale of water from Toledo Bend Reservoir by the Sabine River Authority to out-of-state entities.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to sell water to Texas. That's not what I'm trying to get at. But we fight this. Next, on the 25th, the SRA has a meeting, right? And their new committee supposedly will have a proposal, if I understood Warren right. And we're both two different government entities. If we vote this today, we just play a tug of war with the SRA. If we gave them to the 25th to have their meeting and get a proposal, and we're not pulling in that tug of war, then we can say, no way.
We may help them with their decision.
But then on the other hand, if Texas decides to sell that water, it's not a wall there blocking Louisiana and Texas's water.
You're right. I mean, you're right about that part, but at least we standing up.
And we stand up
We're
today.
standing up and getting mud on our face if they selling it and we ain't get nothing out of it though.
That is not what happens. Ronnie, your information is wrong.
So they're gonna get it
We
out of their
got-
half?
We got so many acre feet that we could sell. They have so many acre feet they could.
Yeah,
sell.
but how do you divide it?
They can't get it, off their side though, Barry.
I know it comes out of the thing.
I mean, I'm not sitting here standing up for water sales.
Me either.
I do have a problem with the fact that they haven't even got a proposal as to what they can do
Because
or
we
what they
don't
will
want
do.
to get a proposal. We're ruining businesses and property values right now because you won't stand up and take a side.
Because I won't.
Yeah.
Well, that may be true. But I also have people that don't live on the lake that say, if they could get some money in there, they could do better on the resources around the lake. They also say, what if both them generators quit next month? What they gonna do then? These generators are 50, 60 years old. They're gonna have to rebuild them at the cost of how much?
We're still not gonna sell water.
So what are we gonna do with it?
What?
Flush it down the Gulf?
We sell them water every year. We got income coming in right now, besides the electricity.
It'll
sale.
be it. And the electricity sale,
What are you
I
gonna
didn't
do
bring
with
this
the money?
up for.
They're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
off a bunch of money.
You just wanted to
There's
start a
no
fight.
proposal.
Well, it's not so much just an argument, guys. I mean, we all have our own views. We all believe in, what you believe in. And to me, it's not an argument. It might be a little debate, but still yet,
Touch on that?
no,
No.
you've had I'm sorry,
had
but
your
you've had
time.
your public comment time. So. And now, like I said, it's up to this board to decide whether we're going to adopt this resolution or not. We've had a month for all the guys here to do your research, ask questions, poll your people, do what you want, however you want to gather your information. Well, I found time to do my part. I've talked to my people. And every one of them have told me, no, don't matter what the proposal is, we ain't for sale. So I represent those people. So y'all know what my vote's going to be.
I made the motion.
You made it. We got a motion and a
I
second.
can't make the
No,
motion.
not you.
I did.
I made it, Eric.
So, yeah, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to speak their piece. I mean, that's what it's about,
and I've talked to a lot of people, obviously different areas, I guess, because probably 50% of the people that I've talked to said they think it would be a benefit down the road and they don't think it will hurt the lake. Everyone I've talked to that is in business or somewhat business says, if we don't sell it, we're going to give it to Texas and they're going to get it anyway. And it's coming out of the same hole of water. So it ain't like we can stop Texas from doing it. The best of my knowledge, we can't.
Yeah, I don't see how either. I mean, you're right about
And it
that
does
part.
come out of the same one. Will you agree with that?
I agree.
Well,
That's my deal, and we don't have a clue what their proposal's gonna be.
Thank you.
And I don't wanna sell the water myself.
No.
I do not.
Mr. Barry, you might can answer this question for, what is the lake level right now?
Below 168. I don't know
168.
exactly what it is, but it's low right
What is it, Mike?
168, just a little below. But we had a good year of rain this year.
We did. It's
Well,
been raining.
for the last-
We've been running all year.
And I'll say this, for the last 3 weeks, since about 3 weeks, I drive a school bus up in my area and I turn around at public landing, wreck site 4, which is Converse Bay, they call. And I watch boats, multiple boats in the mornings go down to the public launch to put their boat out to find out that there's no water there. So they have to leave out and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's at 168. So, I mean, if it gets any deep, any shallower than that, there you might well shut the gates down there. 'Cause it's no service. It's no.
They're gonna have their meeting anyway next
Yeah.
Thursday or whatever. You can rescind a resolution if the public wanted to rescind it, which I don't feel like they're gonna want to. But this is we're just taking a stand right now, Bruce, and this may
And
be
I
a little
understand
influential on what they do down there.
I understand we need to take a stand, but also, I don't see us having to play tug of war against them, you know? And we get their resolution, whether, I don't know whether I'm making the right words, but give them time to make their resolution and present it, and then give us a vote. They had one, which
We
before
can't
my
stop
time,
them
they
from
changed that
proceeding.
committee. But I don't want to see us in tug of war with the river authority. Not, you know,
They could proceed as they will. They're a separate entity.
Well, as I stated before,
So why send it to us?
as I stated before, I'm just my people's voice is all I can be.
Yeah.
That's my job.
and see, and you got a point there. Your people are close to that lake. My people,
Right.
Pump Station Road, they ain't worried about that
I
lake.
got people all in town and I've told people, over 100 people, and I ain't found one person that's for it.
Yeah,
They said they're
I'm
not
not for selling the
They
water. I'm not saying
brought it
that.
in and wanted the
I'm
people
just
to
trying
come
to
and
keep the
build
tug of
here
war down.
and move here. Now they want to sell the water. These people stuck, them build nice homes out there and stuff, and what they gonna do with the money?
I don't live nowhere close to it either, but I've built houses all I've ever done, building contract. I've built houses all over, so
I go ride
it's
'em.
been helpful to me in my lifetime. But I've met a few people in my area that says, well, you bet it'll help the parish. We may get some road money out of this deal, It's about more than that.
That's what I say. It's a mix.
It's about more than that.
And a lot of it is demographics. Where you live is how they vote. You know, if Randy Bird was here, he don't touch nothing down there. I wonder what his group would say. And I don't care. I'm gonna vote for the resolution because I'm gonna be with this jury. I'm 100% about what we do. That doesn't mean I gotta agree with it. I think that there's some smart people that can get that water out of there without hurting that lake any more than those generators are doing or those water sales.
Ronnie, if you think there's the ability of anybody in the state government to be able to go against 9 attorneys and develop a contract that's going to benefit Louisiana, then you're, I don't know what you're smoking, but it's something.
Pretty good stuff.
All right. I got a motion. Okay, no other discussion on this. Let's get this taken care of. Got a motion by Bo, correct? Second by Eric. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 18, establish a minimum bid for a piece of surplus equipment, D6 dozer, SW378.
It looks like a ghost town in here now, y'all want.
During the February 19, 2025 regular police jury meeting, the committee determined D6 dozer solid waste was not reliable piece of machinery, and therefore we're gonna sell it.
Where's it at?
It's a landfill dozer.
I think they said it's wore out.
So, got a motion by
Bobby,
Remedios.
does this dozer still run or do you?
No.
know?
Landfill. It's landfill.
Surplus?
Surplus.
Pete said last time that it wore out.
Yeah.
Motion by Remedios, second by Bo. All in favor? All opposed?
Did we set a limit on it? Yeah, what do we make, what are we voting on? It says here, all we're here for is to set the price, huh? What's that worth, Bruce?
We're gonna set the price. Allie.
Thank you. Sorry guys, a lot of confusion in the back. Okay, so again, this is something that the jury surplus back in February of 2025. As you can see, the resolution 9728 declared this asset surplus. At that point in time, the solid waste committee decided to send this to repair. I think it was roughly around $60,000 or $70,000 just to get it back in working condition where they felt like it would sell. At that point in time, the superintendent was supposed to give me an appraised value of what it possibly could sell for. I've spoken with the interim superintendent at the landfill. He feels, according to his research and after talking with the Caterpillar vendor themselves, that it could bring in potentially anywhere from 45 to 50,000. That's a comfortable number. Again, you guys set that minimum bid, but before they can list it, that number has to be determined.
That's the
But
one
they're
that-
confident it could pull that in.
Is this a piece of equipment that's still in Alexandria?
This is a piece of, no, sir. It was in Alexandria.
Okay, they brought it back.
Yes, it has been repaired. It is sitting at the landfill.
How much
Not
was the
all-
repairs?
The repairs were, if I remember correctly, roughly around 60 or
I
70.
Yeah.
thought they were 65 or something. to-
Plus,
60-something.
And we're gonna sell it for a minimum of 45?
we're gonna set the minimum bid on it.
It could bring in way more than that, but you have to set the minimum bid, otherwise, you know, they could bid $1.
What model is this dozer?
It's a 2020 Caterpillar D6T. And I do know, I did some research on it this morning, the jury paid roughly $380,000 for it 5 or 6 years ago when they acquired the landfill. I'm sorry.
I can't see.
I have to look at it, yes. Yes.
I would go under what we got in it,
For real?
at least get that. mean,
I would set, well, the question is, to set a minimum bid on it and, from the information she got, 50,000 would be our minimum bid. If it come in below that, then, but I mean, if y'all want to set it higher than that, hey, that's,
It's 5 years old?
Yes, sir.
and it's wore out. I'm gonna be straight up with you, it's wore out.
I got one that's 15 years old.
But it ain't been on that dump.
It ain't been,
And that landfill does eat up everything.
Just to be clear, to repair it is 60,000. right?
They done done
We
that.
have-
We
done done it.
They done did
No.
the repair. That's what,
Did we do the repair? We have done the repair.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what I want to know.
But it's not suitable to work.
And if I may, those repairs still did not fix the machine. I mean, again, I spoke with the interim landfill superintendent this morning. It's not our, it has all kind of mechanical issues.
Okay, well,
so,
you're the leader.
well, I say set the minimum bid at 50,000.
I make a
See-
motion.
see where
set
we
the
go
minimum
from
bid
there.
on
I
this
mean,
dozer at 50,000.
That seems to be a good number.
According to the information that the landfill interim landfill superintendent provided me, he spoke with Caterpillar dealership.
Cause if we set the limit at 80,000, you might not get nothing, then you're gonna have to turn around and you're gonna have to redo it again and keep lowering it, so.
and we don't have to accept it. That's on it.
No, yeah, you don't have to accept it,
No.
I'll second it.
I got a motion by Remedios, a second by Bo, all in favor, all opposed. He made that motion way a while ago, Bye.
I didn't hear
You
you say
hungry?
it. Now, he was
Yeah.
making a motion for something, but I don't know what it was.
$50,000, right?
Yes. All right, item 19 is approved payment of Coordinating and Development Cooperation Annual Membership Dues. This is something that we do annually. What are our dues up to? Oh, I see now, $9,220.
What is this?
This is the CDC group that
Oh, I
we
got you.
I'll make a motion, we
got a motion by
approve payment of
Bison,
this.
got a second by,
Give me a second.
second by Eric. All in favor? All opposed? All right. All right, on this item here is consider waiving 6-month waiting period for rehire of landfill employee. Sabine Parish Police Year has adopted resolution number 8756 of March 2021, which amend resolution number 3793 of August of 21 of 1996, which provides in part, if a full-time permanent employee of Sabine Parish Police Jury quits and terminates employment, the employee shall not be eligible for reemployment for a period of 6 months for any job openings that might become available during that period of time. Interim landfill superintendent has requested to rehire an employee who previously worked at the landfill. The employee's last day of employment was August 15, 2025. I've met with who was that? Me and Mr. Barry. Just us two, right? Yeah, okay. We went and met with our landfill superintendent on this, and this is a good employee. I think he was there maybe 9 months before he quit. We have a vacancy for the haul truck at this moment, and so he was asked us to really consider bringing this guy back. All of them talk good about the guy. Me and Mr. Barry talked with him. And so, we, the Solid Waste Committee is going to make the recommendation to waive this and let him rehire this guy to put back in that haul truck, which is desperately needed. That was just our recommendation, so.
And it was because there were some issues out at the landfill that have since been handled, is the reason he quit. He didn't quit for personal reasons. He didn't quit to go take another job. We had some issues that have been handled.
Is this gonna be a one-time exception or is
Yes,
this?
yes.
We're not changing the
No.
rules. We're making a one-time.
It's just
exception.
under these circumstances, so, like I said. Any other questions or discussion on this?
I'll make a motion.
Got a
I guess I'm not understanding what's going on here. This guy quit us, and now y'all want to hire him back. He's wanting to come back.
Yes.
We had some issues.
He was driving a truck. Okay.
Haul truck.
Okay.
He quit because of some of the management out there. The management that was out there that he
Yeah.
quit over is no longer there.
Okay.
And he was a good hand.
They got mad. You been on a job before you got mad and rode your tubes up and left, and then you thought about what you done.
Yeah,
Because you didn't like who you was working for. But no, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
It was
Bo.
Man, just keep on. He was having trouble. He just got
Management
mad,
requested him to do
so
something
he left.
not on the up and up.
So he left.
He just left on his own, keep getting in trouble.
But he liked his job. He wanted his job.
Did we have a motion or not?
Yeah, I got a motion by Barry. I got a second by Remedios. All in favor? All opposed?
Nay.
We're on item 21. What is it?
Yeah.
21, okay. Authorize President Sepulveda to sign or otherwise execute all documents pertaining to the opioid settlements.
I make that motion that we authorize K. Walter to sign these.
A second by Remedios. All in favor? All opposed? So, Item 22 is adopt a resolution to adopt a policy and procedures compliance with the LCDBG guidelines. Mr. Weatherford.
You know, they have our procurement policy needs to be updated. We're working on that. And we need to go ahead and get this approved so that as soon as we get it finished, we can provide that to the LCDBG people in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
You have to read it?
No, I'm not gonna read that.
Thank God.
Yeah, we'd be a dog day.
We just need to make a
Just
motion.
need a motion on that.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion. We
Got a
adopt
motion by
this
Bison,
resolution.
second by Bo. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carried. Let me look at my, huh?
No, nothing. I think we're missing a page here.
No, it's there. I just realized what happened. If you look at the unit number, block description with what we're about to discuss, it's at the top of what we just read. So if you go down to 23, Mr. President, you'll see where we start. That's right. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay,
I don't know why. I guess when I copy and paste it, that
okay, I
it
got
went
you.
to the top.
So we on 23.
We're on 23, but the box.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got
that
you.
relates to.
All right, declared 2011 Texas Bragg P18 PW, VIN number 17XFE2221B10135118 surplus. The following piece of equipment is considered to be no longer serve as useful purpose to the Sabine Parish Police Jury. Road Superintendent Hughes has requested to declare the equipment surplus and approve dispose of it through electronic auctions. That's Gov Deals we're going through. Got a motion by Bo, second by, who's that? Mr. Garcia. All in favor? All opposed?
We need to go ahead and set a minimum bid while we're here.
Yeah. You got an idea on a minimum bid for that piece? Huh?
It's just junk.
I see it. Yeah, I see it up there. I'm sorry. Yeah, $100. And Bo, you can't bid on it.
You gotta be embarrassed.
$100
$100.
now. Y'all better go buy that, guys. That's gonna come out of my area. It's worth $100. I'm gonna tell any of y'all. Y'all better go bid on that. The let down trailer bumper pull. They hauled the traco on it. One of them little mini excavators. It's at least 14, 16 foot bumper.
I'll buy it.
You gotta go on that. You gotta go on that.
On Gov Deals.
I'm telling you, you better. You can't haul trash on it too long.
All right, review and award bid for Sabine Parish 5% initiative generator project. That was through FEMA. The Sabine Parish Police Jury accepted bids for the construction and installation of a 600 kW diesel generator with level 1 enclosures, a 72-hour tank, a 2,000 amp transfer switch, and a 2-year warranty for the Sabine Parish Police Jury 5% initiative generator project. Bids were accepted till 10 a.m. on September the 8th when the bids were open and publicly read aloud. 2 sealed bids were received by the police jury. We have a bid from EP Bro Electrical, $644,000. And we have one from Camus Electrical Company, Inc. for $620,000. The police jury hereby accepts the bid from Camus Electrical Company, Inc. in the amount of $620,000. I need a motion and a second on that. That's for the courthouse.
The courthouse generator.
Courthouse
I'll
Make a
generator.
motion, we accept the bid and.
Refundable.
Second.
Got
Yeah,
a,
we got a grant for that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we'll get our pay back in full on that.
I had a motion by, was that Bison? Who was second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Uh,
All opposed?
have they already set that generator too?
No, I
Have we already got it or no?
No.
It's gonna be several months.
It's been several years waiting on this deal to go
Yes.
through.
Completion date, in order to receive the funding from the state, September 30th of 2026.
All right, moving on. Consider amending ordinance number 7 of 2024, rules and regulations for the subdivision on land in Sabine Parish. Mr. Hughes, you want to address us with that?
So y'all back in what was it, November, y'all approved a new, subdivision ordinance. And that was, the planning commission got it. We realized rather quickly, and I'm gonna just give you a little quick rundown, is that there were a lot of things that we missed. There was a development policy that we used for years, and over the years, the jury had made amendment to it. Well, when we prepared the one y'all approved, we didn't realize there was a lot that we missed, all those amendments. So we're in the process now. We've had a couple of workshops, to where we're gonna present to y'all, and our hope is, and that's a big hope, is that we'll get it to you sometime in January. Might not happen, but that, we set a goal.
So you're changing some of the rules?
Well, there's just a lot that we missed. There was a lot that was missed. So not really changing anything. A lot that's in place.
I got a lot of complaints about, they cut out the iron ore base, stuff like that. Some guys have been, is that part of it?
I heard of it. So, but really we missed a lot more. That's the only thing we missed, but anyway, we're gonna present y'all something, and we met with some developers. When we get to a point, when the planning commission gets to a point, that we think we're pretty good with it, we're gonna bring in some developers, we're gonna bring some other people and say, hey, here's what we got. Let's let everybody feel it out, you know, so we're gonna have some conversation about that. But we'll do that before we bring it to y'all. But right now, what this is something that the health department needs to manage electrical connections. There was a statement that was approved that it was one of the things we missed. And it's been there, been in place, but now, without it being in our new ordinance, it prohibits Krista from doing her job. So it's just a small paragraph. If y'all want me to read it, or I will. If y'all got it, y'all have it.
I've saw it, but yeah, go ahead and read it for the
It
guys
just
here. I
says,
saw
and
it.
I'm gonna be, I don't have my marked up version of it, but I'm gonna miss a couple of words, but no electrical utility company licensed to do or do business in the parish of Sabine shall install or connect service to any mobile home or RV until a final, that's mobile home or RV, until a final sewer and building permit is issued. No electric utility company licensed to do or doing business in the parish of Sabine shall install or connect temporary service to any residential, commercial, or any other structure unless sewer and building permits have been issued, nor install or connect permanent service until final. So it's just about electrical service. We missed that in what we did in November. So if y'all would approve this amendment, it will allow Chris to still.
Yeah, she has to sign off on all those projects, so, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
We got a motion by Bruce.
Hang on temporary service, what are you saying now? Can't hook up temporary till what?
You have to have permits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just the permit.
That's it.
Okay, gotcha.
I got a motion by Bruce, second.
I'll second.
Second by Eric. All in favor?
Uh,
All opposed?
Thank y'all.
And so you're saying that by January the 1st, y'all have y'all's, was that your date on that?
Our hope.
Okay,
Soon, sometime first year, we hope to get it.
all right. Item 26 is our federal off-system bridge replacement program, our annual certificate of compliance. Mr. Weatherford, you want to read all that?
It's the same as last year. Nothing's changed.
Oh, you want to read that for us?
No, we heard it last year.
Okay. I guess I need a motion on that then.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Bruce. Second by Bo. All in favor? All opposed? On item 27, we're going to approve Gulf South Engineering Testing, Inc. to perform 38 soil borings for the Sabine Parish landfill. During the September 11, 2025 Solid Waste Committee meeting, Mr. Brett Bayard, engineer for Sabine Parish landfill, presented a proposal from Gulf South Engineering and Testing, Inc. to perform the geotechnical investigation required by LDEQ for landfill expansions. The solid waste regulations require a boring grid with a minimum space of 450 feet, based on the size and shape of the recently purchased tract, which would require 38 total borings. The proposed recommends 2 phases for this work. The first phase is to bore and analyze 10 borings. The remaining 28 borings will be completed in the next phase. This information will be used to fulfill the LDEQ requirements for soil borings and will help the location of groundwater monitoring wells and calculation of airspace capacity and slope stability. The Solid Waste Committee recommend accepting the proposal from Gulf South Engineering, Testing, and Inc. So this is a, what was it, 38 of them, Bill, I read? Yeah, 38 borings that we need to get done
This for our next expansion.
for our next expansion, because it takes a long process for this it just don't happen in a week's time. You got to do the borings, they got to do their studies and do everything. So it's a pretty good process they got to go through.
10-year process to get it through.
I'll make
But-
that motion.
I got a motion by Remedios,
Second.
got a second by Bison. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 28 is discuss details of Pug Mill Scale Attendant position. Resolution 9838 of August 2025 created the position of Pug Mill Scale Attendant. The primary responsibility for the Pug Mill Scale Attendant is to weigh all trucks transporting oil sand from the Pug Mill inventory pile. The road superintendent asked for clarification of the position before he interviews candidates for the job. We had this discussion last month, and we were entertaining the idea of maybe somehow I don't know if it's temporary or part-time or however, but in y'all's research, what have y'all?
Yes, sir.
It's,
Right, well, so at this point in time, as the jury established the position, we were under, when I say we, I say Mr. Bell, because administrative staff, we're under the impression that could be a part-time / seasonal type employee, or after looking into some of the requirements of part-time and full-time, which is set by not only our retirement system, but also by our health insurance system, there's really no way around it. You're gonna have to make them full-time, and the reason I say that is, right now, when the Pug Mill is running, yes, they could use us for that. However, we're not running, we are running consistently, but there are gonna be days where maybe we don't, especially with the colder weather coming up. If they were working under 28 hours a week, it would be no problem. However, we both know when spring and summer get here, that the Pug Mill is gonna be rolling, multiple, full day work, every single day, 5 days a week, which is gonna put that employee over the 28-hour threshold. At that point in time, they are considered not only full-time by our retirement system, but also by our health insurance providers. So that's, kind of like we look at it.
so,
It's supposed to be full-time.
so if we hire someone and they would have to be full-time, it'd be kind of bad
28
job
or
to
30.
where if it rained that week and you didn't work, they would have to go home.
Well,
I mean, what's your thoughts on this, Mr. Hughes?
long-term thoughts are maybe might try to find somebody that, we could use on a crew. You're trying to.
Crews are short anyway.
Huh?
Crews are short-handed anyway.
Well, I'm just trying to find a way to make this position make sense. Because we have, if what we originally thought is that's not gonna work out. We have to have it as full-time.
So what you said, I'm just going to say, if you had someone that's on the maintenance crew that can do this.
No.
Well, I'm just using a crew. I'm not I'm not saying maintenance or any, I'm just saying,
That on their off time there,
Could help with
would
another
have
crew.
skills, that may
Okay.
have some skills that would allow them to help out another crew.
okay, do you have a vacancy for that spot?
Plug mill scale,
Do you have a vacancy for any of your positions out there?
no.
Okay, so we're gonna be hiring okay, I got you. So they're gonna be assigned to the pug mill, but days the pug mill's not running or something happens, they go and do something else with another
Well,
crew.
now, and if, let me ask you this, okay, well, if they go out there and it rains them out that day and they say, well, I don't want to go get on that crew, I just want to go home, I don't care if I get
They can go home.
30 hours, can they still be considered full-time if they don't make the 30?
They have to make 20, so
Eight,
it's
you
it's a tight line, guys, because 28 hours is considered full-time to retirement. If an employee works over 30, at that point in time, you have to, whether they decide to accept it or not, or take it or not, they have the option to take out health insurance. Well, so 28, just to be considered full-time with retirement, but if they do say, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna take the insurance out, well, then at that point in time, they're obligated to work 30 hours a week, whether that be at the pug mill, whether that be on the parish
Wherever,
crew,
right.
30 hours must be worked a week in order to keep that insurance.
How does, the guys at the compactor, they're a full-time employee?
No,
No, they part-time,
all
they work
part-time.
20,
they work 29 and a half, and for that very reason. You know, people-
So why not hire two people?
Sorry.
Two people.
That was discussed, in earlier conversations, but I'll let you touch on that, as to why you didn't feel like two people.
What's that?
He asked why couldn't you
Two
hire two?
part-time people?
Switch 'em up.
Why couldn't you hire one person like we just said and put them on a crew when they ain't working, make them work the whole week?
right, that's,
Not whether they want to take off.
and then they're gonna have
We're
to,
gonna have some, if we are two people, one of them's gonna be out, the other's gonna fill in, we'll be back to square one.
and the one person that
Good point.
takes this job, they're gonna have to learn that system of weighing those trucks,
And
which,
just so y'all know, like, scales are on the ground, we got scales being installed today.
so which the lady up at the, landfill, which is the same software, is gonna help train this person, am I correct?
We don't have anybody.
So-
So,
So on this position, what kind of, what kind of hourly rates we're talking about? Were you gonna, I mean, do you have an idea? You gonna bring them in on a low end or mid or?
I mean, we had a conversation about salary. You know, but that was when we were talking about something else.
Right.
We talked, I think we talked, and what we approved was 15. I'd like to see it 16. Because now we're talking, we're gonna have to find somebody to fill in somewhere else on their off time. So I'm trying to think, maybe keep in line with some other decisions we have.
I think.
If they operators, I mean,
I do too.
I'm sorry?
I
What
think
if
we
the-
should stick with the 15 and go on, because if we start them at 16, first time they get to bump, we're just adding to it. And 15, to sit on your butt in that scale shack ain't
That's not
real
a
bad. I
complicated
mean,
deal.
because you know, there's gonna be a lot of times, there's gonna be hours that you sit there waiting on trucks and doing nothing.
I have a thought from back when my.
K-Wall's got it.
This room, and I'd like to see it at 16, if y'all can.
I tell you,
But if you can't,
I've been across scales, hauling dirt, hauling grain, but a lot of places you have to get out of your truck. Madden, Natchitoches, have to get out of your truck on them scales. And man, it's dangerous. You know, you either walk that little old beam. That's why I'm for putting someone in there, but,
well, can we all agree on the $15 per hour? Okay. Everybody's good with the 15, Barry?
What's our lowest position, what's our?
Our low pay comes in
what's
at
our lowest paid
14,
Position out in the field.
14.
14,
and what do they do?
we have very few 14.
Wasn't my question.
14.
We do have some people out there at 14, and I think 15 is.
Well, we got $12 our people, we got $12 bottle free, so $12 would be your low.
But they probably couldn't do this job.
Right, no, trying to see our base load
Right,
factor. We're
right.
gonna ask them to go out into the field and do somebody else's job.
Well, and that's the question I'm getting to now. If you send him out in the field and he gets up on a machine and starts, I'm just saying if he starts whoever starts bush hogging, but then you know, they can't do that because then you getting into the operator's pay.
I've got an individual right now that works for us.
You got it covered. Is that what you're telling me?
I've got it covered at 16. So I'm asking for 16. If y'all want to approve 16, then it is what it is, and we'll roll with that. I have an option, and I don't know if that's gonna work out. I'd like to pursue it.
What's the option?
How many hours did
We
that
don't
meal
talk about
run
it.
last week,
We
Bobby?
can't prove, can't discuss the option, and we can't
Bobby.
discuss the pay.
How many hours did the pug meal run last week?
They're there every day,
Run every day at
How,
least.
how many hours a day?
9 hours a day.
Yeah, at least 9. Every
Do
day.
you, the cold, is the cold gonna affect that
Yes,
meal?
Yeah.
yes. You know that, all the clever.
We don't have a warmer on that oil?
They don't have there's not a heated machine. They don't have.
It's not a heated tank?
I don't know about the tank, but the sand's not.
It's an insulated tank, and they'll bring it in hot, and it'll last about 2 days. At max, it'll last 2 days. They bring it in this morning, by tomorrow morning, we better get it in.
But then again, you might have an 80-degree day on Christmas.
Exactly, in Louisiana
That
for
don't
sure.
matter.
I cut hay on Christmas Eve one time.
Right.
And y'all,
What was you smoking?
I wasn't.
So-
Mr. Paul can testify to that probably.
So could we do the 16?
keep in mind that we
We can do 16.
built the road. We built a road
I
into this.
don't
bug
understand the
mill.
big secret on why,
Because I think he
with the position.
Bobby just said we can't tell names in here.
had.
You got somebody in-house that's running something that can come there. It's about,
That's simple. And it may not work out, but their current salary is 16. So y'all keep in mind, we have a plug mill that we designed and we planned. We built our own access road, so we wouldn't be limited to the landfill scales. We bought our own scales, so we wouldn't be limited to the landfill scales. And to do that, the idea is that we are gonna be able to work later than landfill hours, right? We can come and go as early as we want or as late as we want. We're not limited to landfill hours. Make sense? So,
Bobby has somebody ready to go that could work there and work elsewhere, get their full-time hours in. I say we go with $16.
I make a motion for
But this is
16.
and I may be way off. The person that he talking about is already an employee for us.
on a crew, but
if you're gonna take him from that crew which all of them are parish-wide employees when you
I'm
get
not
down
looking to
to
lose
it.
a position on a parish-wide crew, if that's where you're going.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
We're
So
funding a new position here.
But if you take that employee, you gotta replace that employee, right?
On a crew, yes. But are you saying just,
no, I'm trying to figure out, you're gonna have to hire somebody. If whether this guy takes it and stays with it permanently, you're still gonna have to come in and hire somebody over here to take his spot, which is gonna be $16 an hour. True?
yes,
So we might as well go ahead and okay the $16 an hour job now. And then if the 15 don't work out, then we won't get all jacked up. Well, let's just do 16.
for the plug mill scale?
Yeah. And then he's your employee. You can put him where you want to.
That's what I'm asking y'all to do, if you will.
Let's do it.
I'll make this.
Y'all understand?
Yeah.
Am I right here?
I think
Well,
that
it doesn't,
confused.
depending on who he puts in the position. Yeah, I mean, because he could hire somebody that's really not functional elsewhere in the parish.
So
he just pay him, he doesn't have to pay him $16. He could start them off at 12 if they're just there to run the scales. If, let's say somebody's not physically capable of going out in the field and taking another position. So he doesn't have to give them $16. He's got somebody qualified, he's gonna be multi-used, then he's probably worth $16 an hour. You understand?
Yes.
Although we're setting this as a maximum pay, it is not necessarily got to be the pay,
Right.
if I'm understanding correctly.
To that point, and I'll make it clear, I've said it a couple times already, I have a thought and I have a conversation going with somebody, it may not work out that this person goes, but I'm really hoping it does. Bill can attest that there have been times recently where we've hired people, and the base rate of pay for that established position was, I'm just gonna use 16 as an example. Yet, we brought them in at 14 because they didn't quite meet that. Correct, Bill?
That's correct.
And if in fact we saw that we could use just a part-time employee out there, Ally, would that be a big problem?
If they're considered part-time, they have to stay under 48 hours.
Yeah. And they get no benefits whatsoever, and that's fine. Because there's people out there, just like those that work at the landfill sites, that's, I mean, you know, they don't care. They just want something to do.
It's not a
We got
complicated
motion
project
anyway.
the way them trucks.
Eric?
All right. Got a motion by Garcia,
I second
second by Remedios.
What is the motion for?
The motion is to hire,
16?
and that,
That's all I need.
That's what he's getting.
to hire a pug mill scale attendant, which could be anybody in his employment that he could put out there, pretty much.
Correct.
And at $16 an hour. We're creating a position at $16 an hour top. Understand? Yes. I got a motion by Eric, a second by Remedios. All in favor? All opposed? So we got 6. What we got? 6-3. Oh, he's absent. He walked out. Bruce is absent.
Bruce is that?
Yeah.
So that'll be 6, 1, and 2. 6, 1, 6, 0, 3.
603. Yeah, you motion, or did I, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, that's where, I just make sure I get my count right.
Oh.
Because Bruce got up and walked out. He didn't want to have to vote on that. All right, 29, discuss details of payroll / human resource clerk position. Okay, resolution, Bill, you want to read that one?
Sure.
Do you have it?
Okay. Resolution number 9836 of August 2025 created the full-time position of a payroll human resources clerk. Primary duties of this position include payroll preparation and reporting and management of retirement, insurance, and deferred compensation plans. The payroll human resources clerk will be an employee of the administrative department working under the supervision of Secretary Treasurer. As a full-time employee, the position will be eligible to participate in the STEP plan and other employee benefits normally offered to full-time employees. We need to discuss the base rate of pay for this position. Right now, my office staff, the lowest is 19 and the highest is 21 base.
This is a hourly position, not salary?
This is an hourly
Hourly
position.
position, okay.
Not only will she do that, or he do that, they'll also do other activities as she fits in. We'll move other activities to her responsibility to make sure that it's a full-time job. She's gonna have plenty to do.
Or he?
Well, we
So have,
talking about a position that's already filled.
No.
no.
It's gonna be
New position?
replacing, it's gonna be replacing Sharon when she retires,
When is she retiring?
June.
But this is adding a new position, we're just not,
Yeah, it's a new position, but
Until June.
that's,
so we're
Say
not
what?
looking to replace Sharon?
Huh?
When Sharon leaves?
This is gonna replace her.
what's
That's the way I
going,
understand it, I'm trying to get comprehension.
Let Mr. Bill
we've been
explain
needing
to
another employee.
I agree,
Yeah,
and that's why I'm trying to make sure that's where we're going.
We're going there.
Okay.
Because right now Sharon has the accounts payable and the human resources. And human resources has just been eating her alive. And so that's why we made this position as human resources and payroll, which will take that activities away and leave her to deal with accounts payable and her other duties. And so whenever she retires, before she retires, we'll hire another person. That's an AP position. Not as complex as human resources.
Right.
And we've got 5.
We have 5 interviews set for, we have 3 set for tomorrow and 2 set for Monday.
Mhm.
So hoping to have this position filled very soon. The reason being, again, it's a pretty complex job. I mean, looking at it, it doesn't look like it. Guys, human resource, it goes into pretty good depth of knowing all that information and who, you know, who you respond to in what situation. So I think the idea of this office was to bring this individual in early enough to have that time with them to share and to see how things are run, and that not just throw them in the deep end.
So we going in over 5 employees in this office right here,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
all the time.
Yes.
hopefully,
Yes,
Hopefully.
we need.
we need it.
You don't understand what's going on in there, but
Yeah, okay.
they can't keep up.
Right.
We need it.
We need it. The one thing I'd like to add
I'm gonna
is
spend a
5
day in here.
applicants we have are really good applicants. Looking at the resumes, one is absolutely excellent and has experience. And so hopefully, we want to get a price, salary that's competitive.
Who's gonna
You said
get
is
to
that-
choose who does?
The high
Bill
end is
and Al.
21.
Bill and
The
Ally.
high end is $21. Again, the low is 19. I think the way that Mr. Bill and I kind of looked at it, we felt comfortable with 20,
Yeah.
kind of in the middle. Now, if we feel that this person exceeds that criteria, exceeds it, then 21. But I think we're comfortable with the base rate of pay.
Back when, and back whenever Mr. Weatherford, we discussed this, Mr. Ruffin was part of that, I mean, Barry and maybe a few more. I felt that Mr. Weatherford and Miss Vines should be the ones to do the interviewing since they know what they're looking for. Then like that, it leaves all of us out of it. Nothing gets political. They do the choosing and make the recommendation. But at the end of the day, it comes to here and we vote on it. So I felt it's only right for those to do the interview. Now, I would think any juror here is more than welcome to sit in on the interview. If you would like to. But they know what they're looking for. This is their administration. So that's just, my recommendation. Bring your tablet and sit in with
I
them.
agree with you
That's
100%.
why I asked who's gonna do the hiring, because they gonna be the ones.
Yeah, Bill
and Al are
Because-
responsible
for the results
Yeah.
that office.
Because, I've got a couple phone calls but already, and over the years, whenever jobs come open here, people, they call you this and that, and it's best to let the professionals handle it. They know who they want. I don't know, so just to keep out of the politics of things.
Who knows that room in there better than any of us out here?
And I tell you, Sharon has been here 20 some odd years. And then I'll tell y'all fellas and the audience,
Oh, she needs to go home.
and the audience here, there's a lot of knowledge in that office. And there's 2 ladies in there and they work there. Well, and with these here too. And I come in quite often, not because I want to, because they call me to come in. But anyway, it's busy in there, man. It's always just, and those ladies and Mr. Bill, they are super busy. They've been needing help for a while now. But there's a lot of knowledge and a lot of hard work in there to all this administrative end. I see it when I come in. So,
And we grow.
and yes, and we're growing. I mean, 14
How many
years
new
ago when we
employees did we add for the pug mill?
1, 2, 3, 4, 2 loaders, 4.
Yeah, so yeah, it's growing.
And that pug mill is going to pay for itself and plenty more. So, yeah.
I would make a motion that we approve up to $21 and let them use their judgment, just like Bobby, according to the skills of who they're hiring.
I second that motion.
Got a motion by Barry. I got a second by Bison. All in favor? All opposed?
Yeah.
You a nay?
I'm a nay.
That's interesting.
I'm a very interesting kind of guy.
All right, item 30, ratify approving 2025 EMPG grant. That's the OSEP grant. The Director of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness presented an amount to be received for the 2025 Emergency Management Performance Grant. The amount of the 25 grant is expected to be $51,127.69. 100% refundable to the Sabine Parish Police Jury and primary used to cover the salaries of both director and deputy director. The deputy director is set to retire on or before December the 31st, 2025. The director will assume all responsibilities of the OSEP after the deputy director retires. The director has requested the jury to approve the request for funding desired by the Office of Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness.
I make a motion,
I got it.
we approve this grant.
I got a motion by Bison,
Second it.
second by, who was that?
Me.
Bruce. All in favor?
Uh,
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 31 is advertised for bids for material supplies and services for the 2026 opening 10/31/25. Secretary Treasurer Weatherford advised the jurors that he and Road Superintendent Hughes reviewed the proposed bid advertisement for the 2026 material supplies and services within the next few days and will make desired changes to it. The bids will be advertised in the local paper no later than October the 15th. The advertisement will run in the official journal for 3 consecutive weeks, and the sealed bids will be open in public on October the 31st, 2025 at 10 a.m. They will be presented to the police jury for review on November the 19th, 2025, and the bids will be awarded December the 17th, 2027. We need a motion on that.
Make a motion, we
Got a
advertise for
motion.
bids for all our
Second.
parish-wide materials and services.
All right, item 32 is capital improvement program priority.
Need to vote on it?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, you good. That's right, you second that.
Seconded it, dude.
Okay, I just making sure. Capital improvement priority list, that's our 3-year capital, 26, 27, 28. Capital improvement program. Jurors are reminded that the jury needs to adopt 3-year Parish Transportation Act priority list for roads for the years of 2026, 27, and 28. This must be done prior to January the 1st of 2026 in order to comply with the PTA Act. That's just
Are we gonna add roads this time? We haven't been adding roads.
we're going in and that will be through the road and shop.
I don't think we're adding roads.
We're going to go in.
We got enough on there.
Yeah, we got enough on there. We're just going to go back and prioritize some of those roads, move them around a little bit, and like I think we have enough on there for yeah. So, but anyway, that will be done in road and shop in December. What was that be in December? Bobby, we'll do that in December meeting, November. Okay. Well, but any of y'all are more than welcome to attend that meeting, that committee meeting. It's going to be in either November or December, Bobby. So I think we usually done it in November.
Yeah, typically do it like November.
Yeah.
Early December. We
Yeah.
just have to have something adopted.
Right.
Board has to have something adopted prior.
Right.
Christmas wish.
All right, item 33, authorized payment of approved bills.
Yeah, motion. Make that motion. I'll second.
Motion by Bo, second by Bruce, all in favor,
Aye.
all opposed. Item 34, appropriate and transfer sales tax for September operations of $500,000.
Make that motion.
Motion by Bruce, second by who's
Bruce
that?
didn't make that motion.
I mean, Bo.
Got a
Demetrius.
mustache.
I'll put Bo down here. All in favor? All opposed? Committee reports. We got any committee reports? Let me look back and see. We didn't have nothing in road and shop, because did we have anything on solid waste?
We had two items, but they've been discussed.
Okay.
The soil samples, well, excuse me, we just discussed one item, but it was regarding the soil sample that the jury approved.
Okay.
What is the latest on our new compactor? Did they ever come up with any
Send
numbers?
everything into the bank, so we're waiting on them. I'm about to call, Citibank and get an alternative.
They never come through with their end of the.
They've still not said anything, so they're reviewing everything. That's fine, I'm gonna call, is that Tom?
Tanya,
Tanya.
Citibank, and see if we can just find it.
Yeah, I've kind of touched base with her on, at Citibank, and I think they'll do it. So, 6-1 kind of have the others both gonna be installment plans.
In road and shop, we discussed the purchase of a belly dump trailer, another belly dump trailer. And we discussed a purchase of a skid steer loader. And we discussed a purchase of a road widener skid steer attachment. But those items have been referred to the finance committee for review. Those are not actually intended till next year, but we're going ahead and getting our stuff together.
What are they gonna use those for? I know what the road extended.
The belly dump is a great tool that we found out on laying this oil sand with. And then the skid steer is to where we can have, as of right now, we have one on the job, and when you're doing a job over here and a job over there, you can have an extra skid steer to help. So, but like I said, those are referred to finance. So other than that,
Let me reach out.
Great owl.
Oh, yeah, we did discuss those.
the great oil. And we're doing some research on the great oil. We have two great owls. When they're running, they're great, and when they're down, it's not so great. But we're looking at maybe taking those two pieces of equipment, trading them in or sell them or some option, and getting one maybe on a lease, because those are very complicated machines. To where you drive it in the cab and you also drive it from the back. So we're having a lot of issues with them, and it's getting to where it's pretty expensive to keep them maintained. So, we're going to look at the options of maybe leasing would probably be our best option.
Well, talk about the compactor. I thought the compactor was gonna be a lease project. Sounded like Bill was talking about a purchase agreement with.
No, sir.
Did I
No.
do something?
No, sir, it's wrong term. It is a true operating lease. It has to go through the bank though for approval of like loaning the money. It's not a process, but it's a, TANA, when they presented their quote to us, it's actually leased through First National Bank. It's a bank nowhere near here, and that's what Mr. Bill was saying. Mr. Bill, we've sent in all that documentation. We haven't heard a peep. So, I don't think it was like set in stone where it had to be done through them, so we're gonna reach out to Citibank and see if they would give us some help in that department, but process.
Okay, so it is still a lease.
It's still a lease, yes. But Bill feels we'll probably get a better deal this route than the other route.
Shop local.
All right, any other committee reports? Courthouse, Bo, you got anything in courthouse?
Not right now.
Okay.
Okay, well,
As of right now, DJ has a temporary employee here helping with the cleaning. What's his name? The other guy, Ron, he had some health issues. So he's gonna be off for a while. So the lady is here. Y'all see the lady up and down the halls here cleaning.
I give her something to do this morning.
She's doing a great job. I have to commend her on that. Other than that, I think that was probably as far as courthouse. Oh, fairgrounds, festival grounds. I was contacted a month or so ago about the shed awning on that building out here. I guess it's the exhibit building. And so DJ has got it done. So it's a done deal. So
On solid waste, we talked about the other day, there's what you say, 80% on the clay liner done? Didn't he say about 80%?
I don't remember that.
He's real close anyway.
yeah, they way ahead of schedule on the sale. So
Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So they moving along good. A lot of activity going on out there. So I think I don't remember their date. They had till February maybe to have it done, and they're going to be way ahead of that.
Before the end of the year.
Yeah, 2 months ahead of that, I think they said. So
Yeah.
it's busy out there.
Enforcement officers doing a good job. See right here with his grass.
I went through that too, King John.
They still in the right area up there in the
Yes.
road, but they be calling, sneaking through there and stuff.
Yeah.
They tell me that they're not doing nothing.
And keep in mind, y'all, we have.
But I got this list. I'm gonna take them back and show them where they're doing something.
I'm glad you touched on that. Last month, I looked at the report after I left the meeting here, and I seen where the enforcement deputy wrote 29 citations last month. And it's funny that some of those names are on there 2 times that are receiving the citations.
There's one on there the next day.
So, and like I said, it ain't all about the citation. It's the prevention of it. But, whenever it gets to where, and they on posted roads that has signs that said no traffic, and they still go down it, and the deputies say, well, did you see that sign? Yeah, I saw it. Well, I mean, what can you say? So if we didn't have these enforcement deputies over the years, we wouldn't have no roads left.
Y'all see that name on there. Y'all see David Jensen's name on there. And David's not out there hunting down people. David's not out there. I mean, I put some
Bless
tickets today. I'm gonna write 25 tickets this month. David is the guy that he would rather not write you tickets. So David set out on Central Loop, for example, and we had some calls from trucks coming by. David sat out there, and I don't know how many people David stopped and said, hey, look, y'all are going the wrong way. There's signs up front. You can't come this way. What's your permit say? David got out and escorted them around and brought them around the correct way and brought them in the well side. The only time he wrote the tickets when they did it again. So anybody that got a ticket, they got it, So I just don't want y'all to think we're out there.
He putting Harper to shame.
Just buzzing people.
Yeah, he
Well,
did a good job.
And just so you know, we're down to 1 deputy now. So we're looking for,
Yes.
we're looking for another important deputy.
Team quit.
Yes.
All right. Any other committees? How about our tax? You on the tax commission? Y'all on the tax commission? How's any?
Yeah, they're doing better than they were last year. So that's what I see on it. It was good.
Okay. Good deal.
Yep.
Got a
And
meeting tomorrow.
tomorrow, yeah. Library board we've been approving new people, so we got a new library board pretty much, and they're gonna be active, so glad to see that.
Great. All right, moving on to item 36, operations. Mr. Hughes, you got something in operations?
Yeah. Hey, just to let y'all know that so we recently had Momentum Pipeline and Williams Pipeline here doing the pipeline installation. In the course of what they do, they damage some of our roads. And they've both been fair. Momentum's been really good about, they were excellent with us from day one to the end. They're gone. And I just want to let you know that Momentum hired a company to come in. Some people, we have given them an estimate for road repairs. They've written us a check, and we do the road work. Momentum hired a contractor, came in, did excellent work, went above what they needed to do. And they spent, and this is just on asphalt, y'all, they spent, what was it, $734,000 on asphalt road repairs in our parish. So I like to put that out for y'all to know, and for the public to know too, that Momentum, while they were here, yep, they inconvenienced us for a bit, but our roads are all the better for them being here. And $734,000.
Yes, yeah, that's good.
And I'll say on Williams too, Williams met with them yesterday. We've had a few meetings recently. They're, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, they'll be mobilized and put it down Shut Eye Road. We're gonna start on Shut Eye Road repairs first, then go down to, Devil Branch, Pilgrim Star, and Prospect, get those done. And then we've got Wiley Road, it's an oil sand road. I don't have a firm plan on the outcome of that, but they're gonna, they're doing the same. They're hiring the same contractor actually to do those repairs. And I expect that next month I'll be able to tell you that they've done exactly the same. So proud of those two pipeline groups. One other thing I want to talk about, if you don't mind. And this is with K-Wall's blessing, and I'm bringing this up. So K-Wall and I talked yesterday about overtime. We have this conversation a lot, you know, at the end of the years, we all talk about overtime and the money there. And I know that individually with different jurors, different areas that we work, you know, we're laying roads, you know, primarily we work, there's 2 times that our guys work overtime. Number one, middle of the night, we could call trees down, blocking the road. We're going to send people out to clear the road. But 2, when we're laying asphalt, oil sand now, you know, we always late, and we're in somebody's area that, hey man, y'all roll, y'all get it done. So K1, I talked yesterday, and he said, you know, we need to watch overtime money. Let's not work any more overtime. And I said to him, hey, well, if that's what y'all say to do, fine, you know, of course. But I know that I've had individual conversations with jurors, and they feel differently. Hey, when you're laying, y'all blow and go. So I asked him, I said, you mind if we talk about it in the meeting tomorrow? So that I'm not being disrespectful to anybody, I'll bring it up in here. I want y'all all to have the conversation and tell me what to do.
Exactly. And like I said, it's nothing against any individual juror here, but we go through this last year, I think the year before that. When it gets this time of the year, you know, Mr. Weatherford's our treasurer, him and Miss Allie. They are looking at the big picture of the numbers. And if there's any way that we can cut back on overtime, or if we see something that we don't actually need this year, that maybe take the skid steer stuff can wait till next year, well, let's do that. It's just good accounting and good business to do that. I know a lot of jurors, you know, that when you're in your district, yeah, everybody wants to get everything they can get as fast as they can get. But a lot of times that's not the best theory, because you're sitting here and you're paying these employees time and a half whenever they can actually come back and do it the next day. Now you might get, you know, you might finish a day later, but nevertheless, you're not out that funding, that overtime money that gets into our funds, whatever our funds are here. Now, Mr. Weatherford, he has the numbers here. I think we all have a copy of that.
We all got a copy of it.
And if you look at these,
How much overtime are we talking about, Bill?
Well, I don't know about the total overtime. Just look at what I'm looking at, Bo, is when you look at the road salaries that were budgeted, I budgeted $3,145,000 in road salaries. To date, not counting this payroll we're running now, we've got 4 months left. We've spent $2,050,864.67. That's 65% of our budget. So we're right on target. So if we watch what we're doing, we can make our budget. But we've got $1,094,135 left for the 4 months. And we'll spend about $350, $375 a month in salaries. Now, whenever you look at the total cost, though, you've got your retirement coming in there, and then I've got the pug mill salaries aren't budgeted at all, and we've already spent $18,000 in pug mill salaries. So we're going to have to move some of that money down. So what I've talked to K-Wall about is to watch the overtime so that we be proactive. We can't just go out there and just run and go and blow like we all want to. This fund, we're putting $500,000 a month into this fund for salaries, and it's an overdraft. We spend a lot of money in parish-wide transportation fund. Almost everything's going to, the equipment we buy now is almost all parish-wide. Most of our all our employees are. The pug mill, of course, is parish-wide. I just want to emphasize that if we don't have to have overtime, let's not have it so that we can meet our budget. Because we're gonna have to get the money from somewhere.
This is strictly, road and shop.
This is strictly road and shop. This is just fun too.
So
And-
it doesn't have anything to do with any other areas.
No. All salaries go through too. Salaries are not expense to the individual road district.
And I want the jurors to understand that this year has been not like any other year. We have spent a lot, we have invested a lot of money this year.
Yes, we have.
You know, and you know, we still got things going on, and we're hoping everything stays on track to work out to where our budgets works out in the end. You know, if I'm not saying that we're broke, but still yet you got a budget set, let's stay with that budget. So we won't have to go somewhere else and pull funds from somewhere else to cover that. That's just not good. That's not good business. And when our auditors come in and they look at this, they see it's not good business. So, you know, just like our road budgets. Well, Mr. Bison knows exactly how much money he has for that budget. And if he goes over that budget, well, he's got to scrape some nickels together to try to cover that. And if the nickels ain't there, what you gonna do? You know, so that's all I'm saying. Look, and I understand, Mr. Hughes, they get in situations out there where they got a road, they doing a road, and hey, man, it won't take but a few more loads of mix and we'll be done with this project. Well, I can see that. If it's 2 hours that day, that's fine. But whenever you go 2 hours today, 2 hours tomorrow, 2 hours the next day, 2 hours the next day, but then that's where we start, you know. And I understand, you know, you'd rather a guy sit there and make his come back and go get another load and come back and do this here than having to say, well, you know, we probably ain't gonna have enough time, so let's just wrap it up and go home. I understand where you at on that. And it's a hard call for you a lot of times. But all I'm asking, all we're asking is wherever we can save and cut back for the next 2 or 3 months, let's do it. Everybody do their part. And in the end, we should be okay. So, and that's all I ask.
So,
Yes,
I'm gonna
like
be
I say.
really clear. I'm not a good guesser, so I'm gonna be really clear. Are we talking about no overtime, as you and I talked yesterday? Or we talking about, let's be smart about overtime and cut what we can?
Well, if you're on Barry's Road, I'm just going to use this for an example. If you're on Barry's Road and you got 4 more trucks that you could send and get asphalt and come back and finish that job, do it.
I just need to know, are we talking no overtime or be smart about it?
Well, be smart about it.
Be smart about it. Be smart about it. I mean, use your
Set job
judgment.
and move in the morning and start the other.
Yeah.
I got a little problem
for
with
rain
that's
all
assuming that he's not being smart about it right now.
I do
So
too.
I have a problem with that.
Thank you.
I do too.
You're assuming right now that he's not doing his job and he's randomly going about
Yeah,
overtime.
but they're
Well,
looking at
but-
the overtime
but-
hours and we hadn't solved.
But on his defense, I'll say this. Whenever he's in these different districts, awards, a lot of jurors are, you know, engaged in what road is getting done about. So
No, I got it, y'all. Honestly, when we talked yesterday, when you and I talked, the last thing I said, what do you tell me? You said no overtime or you said no overtime? And that's what, then
Okay.
I'd like to bring it up tomorrow.
And
Because
so-
if it's no overtime, then y'all tell me it's no overtime.
Right.
We won't work an hour overtime. But it's, hey, be smart about what you're doing, and I'm gonna continue being smart.
And I'm not
about what
saying
You
you're doing.
say no overtime, though, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna have some guys sitting on their butt doing nothing for 2 or 3 hours during the day because we didn't send the truck
But
back
y'all are
to
saying.
get it to bring.
No.
So,
But you see my point. If you start a job on a Monday, let's wait till we get toward the end before we have to get overtime. Just don't do it.
That's easy to sit in this room and say that. But when you've got a whole crew out there and you've got a line of trucks, man, there may be something going on that prevent the last load. Man, we had 11 trucks on the job.
I
You know,
understand.
it may take a while to get those out, and it may stretch the day out. Once the material gets out, they've got to blade it out. We're running with the grader. They've got to blade it out. They've got to till it. They've got to compact it. We can't just leave. So that crew's there. I mean, I get what you're saying, but you know, we're thank y'all for saying that. We're working smart and we're trying. Also, I want to say, I said it a minute ago, and I understand the money. I get it.
Yeah,
all.
well,
But
y'all do what you want
we-
to do, but I'm looking at the money.
I
When it
get
goes
that.
negative, I got it's just negative.
But y'all, I want to say this. This is just my simple way of thinking. Over the years, we've 3 years ago, we thought about getting to the point we are now. We chose to grow where we are now. Here we are. We're there. We got a pug mill. We built a road. I said a minute ago, we built our own road going in there so we don't have to work on these hours. We bought our own scale so we don't have to work on these hours. We can come in and out as early or as late as we want to. We chose this. Am I the only one that gets that? I mean, we chose.
Yes,
this.
we did choose it.
Then
You're right, we did choose it.
Then
Because it's an investment in our parish, but all I'm saying now is that this particular time of the year,
Yep.
where we got a target number that we're trying to stay within. That's all I'm asking. Come January, you can roll if you want to roll. But these months here, every year we have this discussion. We had this discussion
Yep.
last year.
yes.
Rough and back got up on the table
Yeah.
on us because we got to watch our budget.
Okay,
That's
so
all
what
I'm
I'm saying is, we met yesterday and I've got a copy of it there. We all added roads to that list, of roads we want to do. Our guys are trying to get that done. That's what y'all want. Y'all want us to do those roads. We got a pug mill material sitting there waiting.
I'm gonna simplify it, I think, Bobby. If you can't finish it today, wait till tomorrow to do it.
I get it.
That's what we're talking about. I mean, that's all I'm saying,
That's all
smart
I
wise. If you can finish it today, that's the smartest thing to do would be finish it.
But if you
today.
got to come back tomorrow, just wait to come back tomorrow because in your overtime, not only are you paying them time and a half, but it also affects the other deals. And so,
Unless y'all tell me no overtime, I hate to tell you, but there's gonna be some overtime, even if it's days that we aren't gonna finish today. When we've got a pug mill this close,
You gotta
and we've got trucks running, it's gonna be hard to shut everything down on time.
in order for him to not work overtime, then he's gonna have to shut the trucks down at 2:00.
Or 1 o'clock.
Okay, they're gonna
you
be
know?
no trucks running after 2:00, so now bug mill's not operating, truck drivers aren't operating, what are they doing for the rest of the day from 2 to whatever we work, I don't know what hours.
So that day.
Well, one thing that bothers me is all the truck drivers, I believe, turn in real similar times. If you got 11 trucks running, I'd expect to see people kind of clocking out like at 9 hours, 9.5
Well, I
hours,
went and watched
10
the
hours.
operation for the pug mill operation, watched them do the road. And we had 5 or 6 trucks lined up back there waiting to get it. So once we were ready to drop, them trucks ran through and dropped. So they're all running back and forth. So it's kind of a continual thing.
Well, and the reason on that road, on Toad Neighbors, for example, we had guys around every corner on radios directing traffic. As trucks were trying to load, we had traffic coming through. So I mean, there's so many things that affect it. I understand. I get it. I get the overtime. I get that. But it's hard to say we're gonna shut everything off and not have an hour overtime every day when the guys are out there doing their job.
Yeah, and if we're gonna give him that directive, and I wanna stay in the budget as much as everybody else,
I do too.
then let's give him the directive that we're not gonna work overtime. We're gonna have a little loss in efficiency and production until a time when we're back on budget. We don't wanna run our budget out completely where we don't have any operating funds. So I know we went through this last year. We had the same discussion. We got to December, January, we had to look, well, the money was back, we were good. So
And-
if that's the direction, I think we should give him a definitive
Well-
answer and say, no overtime or extreme cases only.
Well, and that's kind of what we done last year. It's in extreme cases only, and it turned out at the end of the year, everything turned out good. That's all we asked, and that's all we asked.
Yeah, I mean, it was 6 trucks up there the other day.
And they probably
Lined
will
up.
this year because what we're gonna run into is some weather factors. It's gonna shut down some of that OT. You ain't even worrying about overtime on some of this weather that's fixing to hit us. And that's
That
probably
was-
something that
They're
swayed last
gonna
year,
have to get
I would think.
communicate better. to
And like I
deal
said,
with once
it's
the
just a
trucks
general
hit the road.
discussion here. It's
Yeah.
not, I mean,
Yeah.
these two people, that's their jobs, is to watch this budget. That's their job. They the treasurers, and that's what they tell us to do. And I understand you have a job to do, so let's just do everything we can do as far as any spending, and I'll be the bad guy. But as far as any spending, so if you need something, whatever, get what you need to last you this year. You don't, we don't have to, and that's any department. You don't have to go buy up 6 months worth of stuff whenever you don't have it 2 more months in this year. Just get what you need to finish out the year, and then let I call it the new money come around. It's all, and we had this same discussion last year. It's just good business. So. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I make a motion with adjourn.
I second that.
We ain't there yet, Bo.
Hey, well, you in operation?
I wanted to say one thing. I want to commend Bobby and all the guys who are working on these oil roads. I went with Mr. Hughes out on Tobe Neighbors. I called about 2 hours up before I had to leave. But those guys are doing a super job. Everybody's working together, good communications. And one thing that really stood out to me in our trip, there's one driver, I'm not going to name who he was. He said, I'm going back. And that was at about 1 o'clock. And he was going back to get his 7th load. Well, you couldn't pull 7 loads from Texas in 2 days. And so these guys are busy. I mean, you see the trucks and the material. Yes. And I went out. Yeah. And I went out and spent a few hours with our operator out there. I guess it was one day this week. Tracy. And Tracy's doing a great job for us. He's actually taking those different mixes and formulas and he's logging them in. And also talked with the JC about bringing some of that sand from the back of the landfill up to the front and let us try some of that. So we're making good oil sand, but we still experiment on some of these mixtures and but then again, everybody's doing a good job on it, man. And I appreciate Bobby and his leadership. Appreciate Tracy on his efforts out there, but everything's looking good, man. I'm really proud of the parish. I am.
If we come up with a schedule to distribute the oil sand in a fair situation, everybody wants it.
After they get through mine, y'all get all you want of it.
We had a road shop meeting this week. Get with Bobby, and Bobby has the list of roads that we're going to do.
Oh yeah,
You on the list?
but what everybody wants is, we need to get some kind of schedule.
Bobby
There's no doubt we're standing in line wanting it, everybody. I got a lot more roads.
We looked at it.
You don't have a lot more.
We just need the money.
Monday.
So we did Monday and came up, we added some roads on there. And we went back and looked at those roads, Monday evening and then yesterday. And I've already got one scheduled for one of them scheduled tomorrow. Some of the other ones, before we go lay on a road, we got to check everything: drainage, culverts, cross culverts, and see what we have to fix underneath the road and prep for it. So there's some we've got scheduled. It's going to be done the end of this week, next week that we'll be able to move back to. So the scheduling is wherever we can go next. We'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll get it. And we'll work those long hours doing it, y'all.
Yeah, right.
Told neighbors, but,
I was waiting.
it's funny, 3 months ago, we had a whole room full of people from Told neighbors complaining. Gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it. Y'all wanna know how many phone calls I've had off Told neighbors telling me thank you? Nada.
We got one.
I'm getting them all, cause I went after
What
that,
I'm
and they said,
thinking
where's
about
the
it-
jury at? I said, he's on a record call, we here to represent.
We
him."
had one of our, we had one of our
They said,
honorary
"Thank y'all,"
members,
didn't they? They called, told us.
Mr. Tom. Did you get a chance to make your round yesterday?
I'm going today.
Oh, you going today? We have, he's gonna go out, and he's one of the citizens that called, that's very positive about this whole process. And he's willing to drive from his part of the woods to our part of the woods to come look at your work. I appreciate everything. you do, man.
My preacher went yesterday.
Yeah.
And those neighbors both, and he loved it.
Good,
They
great.
look good.
Okay, well, on another subject, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be Mr. Williams' replacement when he decides to go home. This gentleman's Chevy is his short name, Chevy. He's working for River Authority for the last
33 years.
as a purchasing agent down there. And William has recommended kind of to me and all that. I think he wants to get Chevy in here when he leaves. So of course, a lot of folks gotta vote for him, but I don't know about all that, but we probably need to
He
get
probably
another
gonna vote no. He votes no.
That ain't true. That ain't true. I just vote no on the nonsense stuff.
Yeah.
Basically running all that purchasing down there for 100 years. And he'll bring some good knowledge in here. I think he'll be a
Good.
guy. If William recommends him, you know he's a good guy.
Good deal.
That's it.
Good deal. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Just so he keeps giving us his part of that money.
That's it.
All right, Bo, you got it, son. Got a
Motion
motion by
adjourned.
Bo, second by, who's that?
Me.
Remedis? All in favor? All opposed?
Yeah.